3 teams that passed. We need to finish the others this morning.
So do we have the names of the group team number?
I had team 4 and team 1 that passed, and I couldn't remember the third team. It may have been team 2. I can't remember. We'll have to ask the teams.
Okay.
Because we just jumped around and then I forgot to take a note of it.
Okay. So we'll just go in and check in with them and see whether.
Yeah, but we should just ask the teams that haven't passed to just quickly book a time in the Miro board.
Okay.
To do the
I'll do that and I'll get back to you guys.
Excuse me, Pamela. I've just sent the link in this chat box to the Miro board. Can you get it?
I beg your pardon, Santos?
No, I was talking, right? Mr. Ben, like we need to merge a team. One of the team, they were talking about this. They have very few participants, so, and I think they are also not through the gate check, so I think they are not able to do their steps, so they want to merge to the next team, so we need to decide for that also.
Yeah. Okay.
Sampurna, do you hear me? I don't think Sampurna is there. So guys, do you know
I do.
Yeah, please. Do you know the team number? Which one merge?
I will just wait a minute.
It might be team 2, because I know yesterday I think they were struggling. They had 2 or 3 people that one was overseas and one couldn't connect because of internet problems.
So team 2 were the
Team 2 has already passed the gate.
Oh, team 2.
Oh, okay. Team 2's passed.
Team 4. Team 4.
Team 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there is no one in the team 2 right now.
No, Sunita, she will participate. She is ready to merge with the other team. Yeah, Sunita ready.
What do you say, guys? Where can we merge them? In which team they would be fit? Like they have the same kind of project. They have the same kind of like motive.
Team 4. Let me check it. I think we need to look at the other team as well, because she has informed us personally. Maybe other members of the other groups might also be absent. We need to look at.
Yeah, but for the team 4, we need to discuss, because like if we do it so like in time, so they could give the input to the teams as well as they can build up the synergy. So
Santos, can you give again the names? The group number that has passed through the gate. Is it 4, 1, and 2?
Team 2. Team 2 has passed the gate.
Pardon?
Team 2.
Only team
Hunger
2?
Warriors. Yeah.
So not 4 and 1. They're still having to do their minor refinement.
Yeah, I guess so. Because in the main Miro board, only team 2 has passed. Yeah, someone has passed here.
So only team number 2 has passed through the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to be really quick in this issue, because all the teams wanted to go through the gate check. So I guess Stefan will leading on gate check, and you will be leading other gate check.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. Like Stefan, you could go with Pamela or with Siv. So Ben, you could go with one of them. So we need to be quick on this, because it was time taking. So so Stephen and Ben, you could just split your team and be with one of the facilitators, so you could check like parallelly with one and other teams.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we need to just merge the team 4 with one of the team. That's the one thing. Okay.
Let's merge it with the team number 3, because Akanksha and Edina were also absent. They were foreigners and they couldn't manage time.
Okay. So
Sunita with team number 2, 3.
So 3 and 4 would be merged, right?
Yeah.
So we need to help them to getting this synergy. I think Sampurna, do you want to tell something? Mona?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so guys, do we need to discuss anything more, or we can go back to our respective, like teams and help them?
Did you still want to do the intro to the day?
Oh yeah, I think it's the time, right, in the main room.
Yes, we'll try and get through it quickly because we're a bit behind, but let's.
Okay, just I think we need to go to the main room, right? So guys,
Yeah.
can you just go out of the room so we could go to the main room. I think you can do yourself.
So should we start? Shall we start?
I'll just close the room so everyone can come. I'll just close.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. We are
Please
here.
ask me to let in room number 6. I'm still having problem.
Well, just wait. We are going to have a main intro session for today, so you will need to be here.
So they will be here in like 15 seconds. Hey, Stephen, I think you can go through your presentation now. I think most of us are here.
Okay, everybody's here. Well, good morning, everybody. And from me, welcome to day 2. And just thank you, everybody, for yesterday. I know it was a long and intense day. It was a lot of work, but I think you will see the results of that today. In the interest of time, I'm going to just jump straight into this quick overview of what will happen today so that you understand what needs to be done. There's a lot of work to be done, so we'll jump straight into it. All right, so day 2, this is the schedule. I think it's in the Miro board. I won't go through it in detail. I think just the things to note on the schedule for today are, obviously there's quite a lot of time for going through the gate checks, which we want to do quite quickly this morning, and then moving into the ideation, and we'll talk in a little bit more detail about that. As you can see, there's quite a bit of time allocated because that's the real heart of what you should be doing today. Just to note that we're going to have to finish exactly on time this evening at 6 for the pictures because we have outside people and judges coming in. So we can't be late. So we're going to be quite strict on time in terms of getting ready. But that's going to be the main sort of thrust of the day. So time will be important today. Basically, what we'll be doing today is the ideation phase, which is developing the problems that we worked on yesterday into ideas and a pitch that you can actually showcase your solution and probable solutions to solve the problems that we worked on yesterday. I'm not going to read all of these slides because we have to move through this quite quickly, but they are available if people want to share them or see them later. We also have today, I believe the experts will be available. Please use the Miro board to sign up if you want experts to look at your pictures, to do any fact checking, to help you refine some of your ideas. They should be on hand. And you can make a time with them with your groups so that they are able to provide some of their technical input into the discussions. Obviously, the facilitators that were working with you yesterday are available to help facilitate through the process. The technical experts provide some of that detail that we perhaps don't have based on our sort of experiences. So please use the Miro board to sign up for your experts. Just a very quick reframing of the problem framing gate check, which I think we're all now familiar with and we wrestled with yesterday. And I think a couple of teams still have to go through the gate, and we'll do that this morning, and the facilitators will help you get through that as quick as possible. Hopefully you've had some time to sleep on this, to think about your problems and look at it with fresh eyes today. I think we should be able to get through it quite smoothly. I'm not going to go through this in detail. I think we covered it very well yesterday. Please use the Miro board now to quickly sign up for the gate checks so we can go through this, and then us as the facilitators and lead facilitators know when you need support to get through the gate. So please use the board to sign up for your final gate check this morning. The next stage once you're through the gate is obviously moving into the ideation phase. And this is, as the slide says, where the magic happens. All the hard work yesterday was laying the foundation. And this is normally where people want to get to very quickly is being creative, thinking about ideas, thinking about solutions. But as I said to some of the teams yesterday, if we really don't understand the problem well, it's really difficult to find a solution that is actually appropriate, meaningful, is going to deliver the outcomes that you're trying to achieve. So this is the good part. Where we have to get to today, that's kind of the starting point is the end, is this sketches of 3 ideas, which need to be 3 different solutions that will address the problems that we identified yesterday. You can use graphics, if possible, drawings. We need to talk about the users, what the solution is, and then the proposed implementation method. I think that's really important is how do we do it? Lots of great ideas out there, but very few people get down to the how do we actually turn this into reality. So the first part of this is capturing sort of 3 ideas. Then it's defining the value and complexity of the ideas. Again, a lot of good ideas out there, but when you try and implement them, you realize that they are not very practical. They're difficult to turn into reality, and the impact is relatively low. So what you need to do is look at the practicalities of what you're going to do, the difficulty of designing or manufacturing or actually implementing this idea, and then what impact it will have, and the value to the user. How valuable is this? Is it actually worth going to the trouble of doing? And then the last thing that we need to have is one idea that's chosen, kind of one final idea that is potential for building on further. So those are the 3 key elements that we need to see for the final gate today at the end of the ideation stage. These cards are all in the Miro, so please go back, read them carefully before you start, just to make sure you understand where we need to get to. Just some thoughts around brainstorming. Brainstorming is a very valuable process. It's the way we harvest ideas, and as you know, many heads are always better than one, but there's some guidelines for this to make it really valuable, because I think we need to have open minds if we want to have multiple solutions or creative ideas. So deferring judgment is critical. Don't judge ideas. play with them, think about them, explore them, look at them carefully. Crazy ideas and wild ideas do work. They may seem crazy at first, but they're not. And try and be positive. This is a stage where we need positive thinking. We avoid, oh, that won't work, or this is no good. Always start with the yes and try and build each other's ideas instead of saying, oh, but, or no, this won't work. And please respect each other's time, because people sometimes say things in different ways. They have different ways of conveying ideas. Respect each other, and I think all the teams are doing that very well, and allow others to express their ideas. Not everybody's talkative in a team. Sometimes we need to encourage others to share their ideas, because everybody has good ideas. So one conversation at a time, and that makes people feel comfortable and allows them to speak. Be visual and tactile. Use whatever means you can to convey your thoughts. I know this is virtual, but use drawings if you can on the Miro board, write up sentences, try and use different ways of getting your ideas across, because people don't know what's in our heads, and it's sometimes not so easy to share that. At this stage, it's about quantity, how much you can generate. The sorting, the focusing of ideas comes later. So you want to get as many ideas on the board as you can. Then you'll start refining and grouping them, and then you can start sifting those ideas. But initially, don't reject anything. Put them all up. And then keep coming back to your problem framing. Don't lose sight of that. That's your kind of guiding star that stops you going off course and wandering too far from the problem you're trying to solve. So always go back, look at your ideas. Are we answering the question we asked, or are we answering the problem that we framed? A good idea to put yourself in the user's shoes so that you think of it from their perspective, because they're the ones who will be benefiting or utilizing the idea. It's not the creators. You're the facilitators or the implementers, but it's the person who has the problem that we're trying to support. So stay focused on your user and your customer. It's important. And lastly, stay energized, because thinking takes a lot of energy. People don't often realize how tiring it can be, but I think yesterday we discovered that. So use whatever you can to keep yourself energized. I know we're in a virtual world, but sometimes you need to step away from the computer, step away from your screen, walk around, step outside, come back, do things that will keep you energized. The guidelines are in the cards. I'm not going to read through these because we need to move on. But as I said at the beginning, please read through the cards before you just jump in and start, because this really gives you a very good structure and a frame to work on, and encapsulates the ideas that we've just talked about. Pitch ideas, lots of them. As we said, it's about quantity, how many you can get up. Then you can start grouping them, you can start clustering them so that you can refine down to the 3 ideas that you want to then explore in more detail. The more ideas you have, the more you cluster them, the easier it becomes to pick 3 that you can actually then work on together. Then you refine those best ideas into concepts. And there's a structure for you to use, which is sort of a tagline. That's the catchy phrase that people get drawn to. That's the thing that tells you about this concept. We need to articulate the value for the user. Really important. Is it going to be valuable to the user? The phrase I like to use is it useful? If it's not useful, there's no point in doing it. What's the value to the organization? The same thing. If it's not useful or doesn't have value, no point in doing it. And then lastly, your SDG impact. Is this going to link back to the SDG 2 that we're working on? So we need to try and link it back to one of the indicators. And then set out the assumptions that you're making, because those are really important. Clearly, when you're developing concepts, you don't have all the answers, you don't have all the information. So sometimes you have to assume things, and it's good to know what those assumptions are, because that will help you in sometimes understanding whether the idea is going to be useful or not, or whether it's going to work. There's an outline for how to pitch the best idea and turn it into concepts when you're refining them. Please use that template. That will help you structure your thinking around the pitch. These are all in the Miro, so as I said again, and I repeat it, please go and read them to give you a good framework. And then you can down select, as they call it, from the 3 most promising ideas, or from your promising ideas to refine them. So you can use your team to vote on your ideas. You can look at it from different perspectives, and this little graphic gives you a way of sort of plotting it. You know, is the idea worthwhile? Does it have good impact? Is it real? Is it a winner? How difficult is it to do? There's a number of criteria set out there that you can use to score the ideas. And then you've voted on those. There's different mechanisms you can use to vote. You can vote with colored dots on the Miro board, or different ways of doing it. And then you sift out and keep your 3 top ideas. And then again, this is set out in your cards and explains exactly how the process should work. And the facilitators are there to help you through this if it's not clear or you're getting stuck with anything. And don't be afraid to redo and refine if needed. It's an iterative process. So sometimes you go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But the more you refine and redo, the better the outcome at the end of the day. The main thing here is enjoy it, have fun. It's a creative process, and it should be fun. And it should be energizing. You should come out of it feeling tired, but kind of energized and saying, wow, that was great. So enjoy it is the key message here. So the next thing we do is pass the problem framing gate, and then we move back into ideation. Key point here, we need to be finished at 1:30 to be back in the main room when there's a peer feedback session. I think we'll do the same as we did yesterday in terms of lunch break. Plan your time, your lunch breaks within your team, but let's be back in the main room at 1:30, I think is the key message. Okay, I'm going to stop there. It's now 9:34. We were supposed to start the session at 9:30. So if anyone has any questions or anything you'd like to ask, I think, Pranaya, if we do that now, and then the teams can go into their rooms and start working.
Yeah, exactly. That would be good.
So any questions, comments, anything not clear? I know I went through this pretty quickly, but all the cards are in the Miro if you need to go back and check on any of the concepts.
Yeah. So I think we can just go to the room and check. So before that, I just wanna, like introduce you to your new facilitators. I think some teams has already met her, but I think some team hasn't met her. So I think we need to have a very quick introduction. So Pamela, so can you give me a quick introduction to all of our talents?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Pamela. I joined very spontaneously yesterday, but I will be helping you as well. In case there are experts for that, but my background is in food related. I'm a food chemist, and I am also working on research on sustainable food systems. So, and I joined the Unleash as a participant in 2019, and I've been here in the community since then. So nice to meet you, and good luck for today.
Thank you, Pamela. So guys, I think you have had a very, like intense day yesterday. So I think you have enjoyed also. So, we wanted to have a very quick screenshot of our screen. So if we, like everyone just open up your camera, front camera, so we can take a quick screenshot. So like to take a memory from here. OT, can you just take a screenshot of everyone? So can we just shout or do something else? So just be like active one. So we can do everything. Like just say smile. So Santosh and Sampurna, can you just take a screenshot?
Okay,
Hello. So we have a very good day, right? We will do. So are we done?
Yeah, we are done.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. So I think I'll open the breakout rooms so you could go back to your rooms, and best wishes for you. So today is a pitching day. You'll do good. We are sure for that. You are the persons to change. So you can go back to your rooms. Thank you. Yeah.
Sustainable farming practices. So why there is unsustainable farming practices? Because the farmers are using monoculture crops and they are reliant on chemical fertilizers. So at first, let's move on to the monoculture crops. Why the farmers are using monoculture crops? Because it is a generational tradition. And also due to the problems like irrigation, they have the fear of risk to grow other crops, which also includes protecting family legacy and the communication gap to other communities. And the second one is reliance on chemical fertilizers. Why are the farmers completely dependent on chemical fertilizers? Because they lack the knowledge on alternative fertilizers, as well as they do not have the knowledge on extension education and technical farming, which further includes the lacking of appropriate policy incentive from the government, as well as lacking financial assets. So now moving on to our problem framing template, it looks like this. So who is our user? Our user is smallholder farmers producing paddy, the paddy of type Kali Mercy, which is famous in Sinjakhola Valley in Jumla district of Karnali province. And what they need a cost-effective, locally producible fertilizer, because chemical fertilizers alone could not be suitable could be suitable for short-term productivity, but may not be a sustainable solution as it might not be available to farmers on time, thereby preventing farmers from achieving independence and security for the future. So let's move on to our user's profile. This looks like this. So she is
solutions that will be published in the published in the Unleash solution catalog. All right, so that other people could read your story. The third is the survey feedback, and this is very critical for us to know from your perspective, how might we be able to do better? Okay, what is it that we need to do that we did not do? So give a feedback, and your feedback will allow us to improve the program for the future participants of the Unleash competition. So far, okay, 3 deliverables. So let's talk about the pitch, all right, and how you want to pitch. Now, when you want to pitch the story, you need to prepare a pitch, and I recommend that you prepare what I call a script. Do not use because you have the time to learn or to be able to prepare and practice. So preparation of the pitch is very important, and then you need to practice in front of your friends or even in front of your grandmother or your grandfather, so that the idea I'm suggesting that is that your speech or your story must be easily understood by people who what we call the lay person. Right? So avoid jargons, use simple descriptive words that will be very sharp to bring clarity to what your story is going to tell. So here we have looking at the criteria. 30% will be based on the innovation. In other words, the judges will be looking for the innovation based on the framing of the problem that you have already done so robustly. Okay, how does this idea address the tension in a creative way? And so that is what they're looking for, and the weightage is 30%. The second criteria they look for is the impact potential. How much impact is there on the SDG? So we know we are looking at SDG number 2, which is based on food and nutrition and zero hunger. All right. So make sure that when you do your presentation, make sure that it does highlight the impact on SDG number 2 on the food and nutrition area. And thirdly is that they will be looking at, is it viable? Okay, viability. Is the problem something that is based on real data or experiences? You know, can the idea solution be feasible? Can it be done? All right, is it desirable? So these are the components as we see that, you know, in any kind of prototype you're doing. Is it viable? Is it desirable? All right, does it meet the needs of the people that you have identified in your problem framing problem framing statement? All right. And the other part, the fourth one, is the performance, which is 10%. And so therefore, it's important that you prepare it, and that 10% will be your showtime. In other words, you are on air for 3 minutes. And that's also very important, because if that is not able to, if you come up with very nervousness, then of course, you know, it affects the way that you are going to tell your story. So my suggestion is that, you know, before you even start on your presentation, practice by taking a card, right? In other words, visualize your problem statement. Okay, if you cannot visualize it, then means you're not really clear still. So visualize the problem statement, and also visualize what is the solution that your group is proposing. Okay, just using a sketch. You don't have to do a big dark drawing. Just a sketch to translate that idea in your mind into and onto the piece of paper, so that everybody can see what's in your mind and so then you get alignment for yourself when you're doing the presentation. And as I said, prepare a script. So with the script, it's easy to work within the 3 minutes, because without the script, there's a tendency for us as humans to really try to give more than what we think that the audience will need. So in other words, if we don't prepare the script, we will keep talking, because we have this mental model that, you know, the audience is starved for information, and so we go on talking and talking. So with the script, it is very clear. So I will share with you later how you would look at the script. Okay, and this is the pitching. So when we look at pitching, many people start the pitching by saying what the product is. In school, we do this thing, show and tell. I'm sure you have done that before. All right. So, for example, if I were to take a mobile phone like this, so I do not talk about what is this mobile phone about, or how does it work. I need to say, why do we need this mobile phone? In other words, what is the compelling reason for me to tell you the story about the mobile phone? All right. So it's about the why. So start with the why. Why is there a pressing global challenge in from your team's perspective? All right, why should the audience care about this problem? Why are your insights to this problem unique? So start with the why, which is more powerful than with the what. So far, okay? Any question? Right. If not, then I will. If there are any questions, just put up your hand, and I will address your concerns. So in your pitch, the elements, there are four. One is that you start with looking at your insight. Okay, bring that insight statement of your problem framing statement. Bring it, highlight it, so that the audience or the judges can see. Oh, this is the problem that you are talking about. Okay, then what is the solution? What makes your solution is unique? In other words, what is the cutting edge? What is it that gives the difference in your solution compared to other people? Okay, why has your solution not done before? So create a sexy story around it. And then you say, what is the progress to date? Okay, how many users have used? What's your implementation strategy? And before you end, you ask what you tell and ask in a way that, invite the participants or invite the judges to be able to participate in your idea or in your dream or in your whatever you are trying to, if I may use it, sell to them. All right, because remember, we need to make them want to buy your product, because people like to buy, they don't like to be sold. So you must give them the reason why they should buy your story. Okay, so craft your pitching very well using these four elements that I've shared with you. So we will open 15 minutes for the judges to introduce the judges, and then each team will be given 3 minutes. And this is something that is very critical, because if you don't finish telling your story within 3 minutes, we are going to cut you off. Am I correct, Pranya? 3 minutes, sharp. Okay, so you make sure that it is sharp 3 minutes. The judges will have 4 minutes to ask questions and you to provide the feedback. Okay, so this is what you need to be very clear. 3 minutes, make your pitch, make your story succinct and with clarity. So the choice of words are very important. Right, next. So you create with the presentation. Now I would caution you not to use too many PowerPoint, because if you use too many PowerPoint slides, you are not the center of attraction. So you need to bring yourself, the presenter or your group that is presenting, to the front. The presentation is just to support you. So don't use the presentation PowerPoint as a main tool that you're going to project, okay? Because it will lose the impact. It's better that you stand in front of the of the judges and speak. And whenever you think there's a need, or you feel there's a need for the presentation to be used on the PowerPoint, then bring it in. All right. So, and when you do the PowerPoint, just to caution you, don't put too many data onto it. Try to use visual graphics. Okay, pick up the highlights of it. Don't try to put all the words, because nobody reads the words. So when you want to say something, you just put a picture with, or what we call it, a presentation zen, where it's simple, yet it is effective. It gets the message across. So far, okay? So minimize the use of many words, because the judges have no time to read, and therefore it will loosen, or it will lessen the impact of your presentation. So the pitch, as I said here, practice. Try simple words, okay? Use it with your grandparents, and the time is 3 minutes. Now, presentation, not more than 10 slides. Bullet points, I would suggest, as I said, use images, icons, simple graphs. Don't make it too cluttered, because nobody is going to be able to see and get the message across. So the idea of submitting your written submission, as I said, is to help you to be able to get more recognition for the work that you have done. And so in the submission, you need to have it as statement in the form of topics, right? So you start with the executive summary. Okay. Now this is very important. I learned from my own experience that, many people write about the story first and then they summarize. That's not going to work, because if you heard of the challenge that we all have maybe played in some way or another, we call it the marshmallow challenge, where a group of the participants are asked to build a tower as high as they can, and then make sure that the marshmallow at the top of the tower doesn't collapse using the spaghetti sticks. So many of the people would actually start to build the structure, and then they put the marshmallow on top of the structure, and then instead of a ta-da moment, what it comes, because it's too heavy, the tower falls. So that's what we mean by the marshmallow challenge. In other words, we start with the executive summary first, and then you work down, okay? And that will give you a very good, because that executive summary is the visual or summary that you are clear what the whole story is all about. So start with the executive summary, then you come and bring in your problem framing, the user description, your ideas, whatever other things you want to bring in, the geography and the contact information. And I believe you have to submit by the end of today. Am I correct, Brenda? Okay. So far so good. All okay? So innovation is about bad ideas or ideas that look like bad ideas. So no ideas are bad, right? So as I said, to be innovative, we need to have the courage to step out of our comfort zone. That's what innovation is all about. In other words, to go into the unknown. If you are staying into the known area, that's not innovation. That's just plastering the cracks. So innovation is to really knock the whole wall down and rebuild it differently. So that's what innovation is all about, that you are now going to do in your ideation. All right. So the feedback form, I believe, I don't know how you're going to, are you going to send out the feedback form? Or?
Every participants about the feedback form, yeah.
So the feedback form is a form of mirroring back to us, to the facilitators, to the organizers, how might we improve for the next year Unleash program, okay? So please help us be as brutal as possible. So we want to hear the truth, not the answers. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So sign up for the gate checks, okay? And if you have not met the experts, and I'm not going to take too much time because most of the things you need more time for you to prepare. So I'm just giving you some kind of encouragement. How might you be able to do it? However, we as the facilitators will be going into the breakout room, and if you need help specifically, we could help you then in that particular area, in that room, rather than in this big main room. Is that all right, Pranaya?
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, when we are in your room helping you, it will be specific to your needs and not, one size fits all. Okay. So are there any questions before we kind of go back to work that starts at, what is the time now in Nepal?
It's about 2, I guess.
It's
Can I?
It's 2 p.m.
2 p.m. All right. Somebody has a question.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you very much for this very nice presentation. Is it encouraged that presentation was given by group members and with their engagement, and not only one person from the group?
Yes,
so
in other words, what you're
talking,
Ilya, are you suggesting or are you recommending it's not necessarily one person to present, the whole group could also present?
Yes, maybe not all group, but maybe 2 or 3 persons at least, and not only one person. So I don't want that only one person from the group was talking and answering questions. Group engagement is more better, in general.
That's a brilliant suggestion, because you could do a bit like, a bit of a show, one person talk and then the other one pick up, so it doesn't become boring.
Yeah, it depends on group, so it's not necessary that only one person did. If you think that 2 persons or 3 person engagement is better, you are free to do. That's what I mean.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, because George will be asking questions, so you need to be like, you need to not one only, right? You can just answer the question from the judges, like everyone need to be involved over there. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Dr. Bain, for this presentation. And without wasting more time, I want you to go back to your breakout rooms and prepare, because you have like 4 hours left to pitch your idea. Pitching is one of the core of this program. So you need to impress the judges. You need to sell emotions. So best wishes for you. So you will get like a facilitator specified for you and for the second gate as well, and for the pitching. So best wishes, and you can
I would recommend you to the team to manage your time. Okay, you have 4 hours. Manage the time, and make sure that the pitching is part of a very important component. Okay. Thank you. Pranaya.
Yeah, Ben.
Should I share the slides with the participants, the one that I've just spoken to?
Yeah.
About.
And you can, yeah.
So that will help them to refer back again.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Pranay, so have you got the slide? Have you received the slide from KP sir? Because we need some facts from there.
I'm trying to connect with him. I'll be with you as soon as possible. I just called him, so sooner or later we'll get it. I think a lot sooner. I'll just call him.
Who are you calling?
Yeah, actually, because
I'm talking to Sagar. I'm one of the participants. So I think we need to go to the judges onboarding room so we could discuss something. So Ben, so I just
okay. I will go to the room there.
Is there the question by
Hello.
Shirisa?
Hello, could you please join me to the room 6?
Seven, 8. Yeah. So
Shirisa is asking, can one representative present the idea, or should it be a team presentation?
Sampurna. Pranay, please.
Soju, you are already assigned. Sampurna, Emma, so we can also go to the judges onboarding room so we could slightly discuss. So I think I already assigned you.
Okay, sure. I'll be there.
So I don't see Ilya over here. Ilya. Is he? Yeah, I got him.
He's in room 6.
Yeah, so where is our Nepal facilitator sleep? In which room? Okay, I'll just take. Okay. Ben, Dr. Ben. So
yes, sir.
Can we meet?
I will go to number 2.
No.
What room do you want me to go to?
Yeah, exactly. Now we are going to judges onboarding room. I just assigned you there, so we will meet you there and we'll just discuss our like 2 minutes. Then we could go back.
Okay.
Pranay, Shirisa is asking, can one present idea, or it should be a team bandation?
There will be a facilitator as well as we can go there to help in this issue. There will be a facilitator. I think we need to just discuss about the facilitator, like allocating the facilitator. So, Sampurna,
what about Sarju Baral? She's not assigned to a room.
Yeah, she's already assigned. She is in room 8. She wants to be in room 8 and she is in room 8. So can you just look at the breakout room, Sarju? Because there's an option. You can go.
Which room do you want me to go to?
Dr. Ben, you just I just assigned you to the judge onboarding room, so we can go. We can meet judges onboarding. I just assigned. Sampurna, you are assigned, right?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, I will be there.
I was a facilitator.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Now we are in one of like critical phase, and one of the important phase. We need to assist our teams so that they could present a good like pitch, so judges would get so they could implement this in our country, like cool. So without wasting time, because we are a lot behind, so we have we OT have slightly discussed and specified the facilitators and teams. So Ilya, are you here? Ilya, do you hear me? Ilya? So I would like to go for Pamela. Pamela, you need to be with team 3 and 7. You'll be solely responsible for those two teams, right?
Okay.
So you need to be like for back and forth with these two teams.
Okay.
Signing you there. So Stefan, you'd be with 5 and 6. Team number 5 and 6. You'd be responsible till pitching with this team. As you are responsible for team 8, you'll be helping team 8 for the pitching and every other stuffs they are facing. Ilya, can you hear me? So Dr. Ben, he would be he would be assisting everyone, and also he would be solely responsible for the last get check. So it would be cool, Dr. Ben.
Which one do you want me to the last one? What did you say?
You need to be like you could help anyone in case anything, but you need to be responsible for the get check, second get check, ideation phase.
Oh, the second gate set, is it? Gate check. Okay. Right. Okay.
So Ilya, I think, is he here?
He's here.
So you are muted. I think you are confused with. So I'll just assign Stephen to room 5 and 6. So 5, Stephen, Pamela to 7, 3, C14 8, C14 8. So Ilya, we are having a problem with Ilya. So Ben, you can be in the main room and like help any one of the facilitators if they need, or any of the team if they need only. Otherwise, you'll be like responsible for when the ideation phase gets set.
Whenever they are ready, I will be available. And I believe Stefan will also be helping me too.
Yeah. Okay. If yeah. Okay.
Yeah, great. But you can go 2 and 4th to any rooms.
Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great.
What about Ilya?
Ilya, I don't think he's available right now. I think he's in break or something.
No, I just assigned him over here and he came here, but why can't he speak? What should we do? Because the team with
he is in mute, right?
Yeah, he is.
Just send him WhatsApp message or personal message.
Oh yeah, we have the WhatsApp, right?
So Sagar is asking, should we do theory of change and market research for get check?
Yeah, they are the 5 requirements for get check, right?
No, he is talking about market research.
Yeah, it is also one of the requirements.
Yeah, it's one of the get requirement for the ideation phase get check. I think they can look in the main boot of the mirror. There is.
I'll reply yes. Okay.
Also tell them to look at the mirror. There's the elaborated things.
Yeah, they need to be proactive themselves. There are lots of activity cards.
That's my founder. That's my founder. So I'll just call Ilya over here. Mr. Ilya, where is he? I will call him. Ilya, Katsuli.
Ranaya.
Oh, Ilya, you are here, right? Oh, sorry.
Ben is here.
I'm looking at the activity card, and what I see, the gate would be mainly talking about the prototype, right? Not so much on the ideation.
Oh, I think there is for the problem solving hack also. What do you say, guys? Santosh?
Can you repeat one second?
Ben, can you repeat with the...
My question is that I'm seeing here the gate based on the activity card. the gate that we're supposed to check them will be checking it on their prototype idea.
No.
No?
No.
So what
I
are
will
we
just.
checking?
I will be back in a minute. Okay, I will just go and check it.
Hello.
Yeah, Ben, Santosh will just take a glance at the activity card and he will be with you in a few minutes.
This is what I see here. Can't get it from you. No, I can't see.
Innovation is the creation of a super cereal. So our innovation is to instead of supplying pregnant lactating women and children ages 6 to 23 months, instead of providing them with a super cereal that is a wheat soy blend, to provide them with a super cereal that is that has a base of indigenous crops, cereals that are made out of indigenous crops.
Actually, though it is grown in very small amount and the consumption rate is very small. So people still are inclined towards having rice, but rice is just a carbohydrate. So the women, though they are still suffering, the children are still stunted, they are not getting enough nutrients. So indigenous crop are very nutrient rich. So incorporating it as a part of diet though, through the super cereal would be a way to ensure that they are getting the nutrients that they need in their consumption behavior. So that is where we thought of incorporating it.
Well, generally in super cereal, generally we use wheat, but in here we use buckwheat, finger millet, sisnu, and other stuffs. So they will incorporate minerals such as calcium, iron, and so many other stuffs which are not present in wheat in abundant amount in wheat. So that's our innovation. Furthermore, we are prioritizing local indigenous products.
Yes, exactly. Our innovation lies in the replacing the existing super cereals, like blending wheat with soybeans with indigenous products which can be available here locally.
So when you say production here, this is is it a factory kind of production, or is it something that the farmers could do it in their own facilities?
Go ahead.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, for this idea, we had this second idea is the one that we've chosen, and in this idea we are talking about actually collecting. So actually buying in bulk the crops from these small scale farmers and to process them in a factory. Versus in our third idea, which we didn't go with, the idea was that we would teach we would teach these women farmers how to make the super cereals for like family consumption, so very small scale consumption.
The thing is that Ben, can I say just the thing is that we don't need to bring much modifications in the to make a super cereal. Just adding some minerals and just need to refine those indigenous crops, which is not a pretty difficult and tedious and machine laborious job. So but it has never been tried in Karnali province. So we are trying to bring this thing in Karnali province.
Okay.
So basically, people will be producing it locally, and if excess amount is generated, then they may sell to generate income as well. That's what we are planning for.
May I invite Stefan to share his insights? Stefan, would you like to share what do you see differently?
Thank you, Ben. And I think a very well organized and structured approach from the team. I think I can see you've gone through this quite carefully and thought through it and looked at it from different perspectives. The thing that springs to mind is, I've heard it said that there's no new inventions on earth. It's just the way people go about doing it, which is the innovation. You would think the world is saturated with coffee shops, but I guarantee you someone's going to open a coffee shop again tomorrow. So I think the way you've put together this idea of, rather than totally importing super cereal, trying to grow it locally, using indigenous crops, I can see the value of that. And then clearly, there will be a lot of work to be done in thinking about how you then collect it. I'm not that familiar with the Karnali district in terms of transport and logistics and things. And then I'm not sure if you plan, if this super cereal needs to be cooked or if it's actually processed in any way, but setting up those kinds of facilities, I'm not sure how complex that is. But I also think if there is a ready-made market in the terms of people like WFP who purchase and distribute, or the government, I think it has for me quite a lot of the ingredients that would suggest this, was worth exploring. So
maybe something else that we also recognize, I think perhaps it might be important for us to share in our pitch, is that WFP actually last year they had a 5-month interruption to their supply chain. And so actually accessing this region is really challenging, which is another reason why we think that sourcing locally and distributing locally is, and partnering with WFP or with a similar INGO or NGO is beneficial.
And the government tries to buy from WFP. Generally, the government will be the main market because WFP will be the funder, and they will try to manage from the soy and other from India or France. But we are trying to blend it into a new form with indigenous and try to make the government and WFP its market.
I think that is a very good point, because I think from a kind of sustainability resilience perspective, it certainly addresses quite a lot of those issues. And I think, this whole COVID situation is teaching the world very rapidly, local works. This reliance on global supply chains and thinking that it's fine to continually move large volumes of things around the world, I think is being questioned quite dramatically by a lot of people. So I think, Ben, from my perspective, I think the team should go ahead, and I didn't have any sort of specific criticisms on your logic or the assessment you've done. So
I guess just a slight tweak, and you could go ahead to prepare your presentation.
What is the slight tweak, Ben?
Pardon me?
Did you say we should make a slight tweak?
Yeah, I mean, just sharpen it in terms when you're preparing for your pitch.
Okay.
If you need to put up some data, so it's good that you have quite a bit of data points there, and the challenge is for you to put it something that's easily to be read by the judges.
Right.
There are a couple of statistics that you have put up there, so you need to do it in a very creative way to get them excited that that they do see the innovation really in the production or the growing of indigenous crops.
Okay.
Yeah. So Stefan, I guess they are good to go on to do the what they call the preparation.
The pitch development, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So guys.
Thank you so much.
And practice your pitch in 3 minutes.
Yes, we will.
Airtime you have. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have access to the pitch cards? Because I tried to find them on the mirror and I couldn't see them.
Yeah, no, we don't have access. If those could be shared again, that would be great.
Which one is this?
Your presentation.
I think I sent it out to everybody on the chat.
I don't know why. It doesn't seem to be in my chat box.
Maybe we could ask the organizers to put those pitch cards onto their Miro.
Oh, we will, Stefan.
Okay, please, yeah, if you could, because I looked for them on the boards and I couldn't see them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not here.
Did you check your chat box? I mean.
Yeah, I just checked the chat box. It's there. It's not here.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll provide you the Mr. Ben presentation also.
Okay.
We can provide you.
Yeah, if you could send us the presentation, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you.
The template for a presentation.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think there's a set template for the presentation. There's just in the pitch cards, it just kind of gives you the headings, the structure of it. But I think if you're using PowerPoints, my understanding is there's no set format.
Please.
Okay. Would you like to share with us the 3 ideas?
Okay. Can you zoom it, please? Wait. Something. Is it good now?
I don't see the 3 ideas. This is your working sheet. Am I correct?
Mate, I
We
think
would like to see it. Go ahead, Stefan.
I was going to say, just take us straight to the 3 ideas, the template. We don't need to see all of this because we don't have time. I think we have to move quite quickly. So
Okay.
just focus
The canvas one.
on the 3 templates.
3 ideas, you know.
The 3 ideas.
This one is the 3 ideas that we have been focused on, that is in the complexity and value to user part.
Yeah, but first, if you show us the 3 ideas.
We have, these are the 3 ideas. The downs one, the lower ideas one. These are the 3 ideas that we are main focused on.
But the one where you've got your tagline, the value to the organization, the value to the user. Did you not complete the template that was in the activity
we have
cards?
completed there.
That's what we're looking for.
Sirisa, can you just move to the the left part? Very left. The very left one. Can you just zoom out and this who is affected chart, or
No,
which
no,
one?
the one we have done in the ideation chart, you know, in the left part. Left, very left. Yeah, keep going. Okay, this one, okay.
You can zoom
Stop
it
right
out.
there and zoom in.
Because if you
all over the globe. Now, second part is innovation process. As mentioned earlier, there are three types of hacks, and in general, there are 5 steps for innovation process. First is problem framing. Second is ideation and idea selection. Third is prototyping and sketching. Fourth is testing and refining. And fifth is implementing. Out of these 5 steps in problem solving hack, we only focus on problem framing and ideation and idea selection. After that, those talents can work further to prototype their ideas, test them, and implement. Yeah, this was what we have been doing since yesterday. In day 1, we focused on problem framing phase, and in day 2, we are focusing on ideation phase, and that is problem framing and ideation. After that, these talents can prototype their ideas if they want to work further and test that idea, and even can go into implementation after the support from different partners and donors. Yeah, while how the deliver there are different types of deliverables while going through the innovation process. We call it gates. The talents have to pass the each gate to go into next phase. For the problem framing gate, they need to have well-defined problem framing statement, problem framing tree, user profiles, which they have already done, and almost all the teams are also doing good with ideation gate. More than half of the team have already passed ideation gate, and remaining team will also soon pass ideation gate, and then they will be pitching ideas in front of our judges, and which will lead you guys to judge them. And finally, we are into the judging criteria. You have already met each other. We have a team of 3 judges. Dr. Andre Bose, Chief of Party, USAID, Mr. Deepak Thapa, Executive Director, and Nepal, and Mr. Atul Upadhyay, CEO, Polio Nepal. And these are the criteria for judging the team. when they pitch their idea, you have to mark. You already have the Google form. We can discuss it about later after this presentation. Even you have to mark 30% on basis of their innovation. Is that idea unique? That comes under innovation, and you have to also see the impact. Is that idea impactful to the community? And third is viability. Every innovative and impactful idea may not be viable, so you should also keep your mind in the viability of the insight. And finally, 10% of the marking is under performance. Has the team really has the team really convinced you that they can do it? They can convert the insight into solution. So 10% of marking will be for their performance. And you guys have received a Google form like this. If you want to move while evaluating, we have a total of 7 teams. What you can do is you can open 7 tabs, 7 different tabs, and keep on marking. And if you want to modify your answer letter, you can modify from different tabs, and finally send them all. We will get your marking in a different Google sheet, and we can calculate the final scores from that. Yeah, now it's the time for a question. If you have any questions, please feel free.
So I have a quick question, Amber. First of all, thank you so much for that presentation.
Yeah.
Can you, so you have said that our this hack is focused on SDG 3. Or 2. Can you tell us a little bit about SDG 2 without me looking up which one that is?
Yeah, so SDG 2 is broadly we can call it zero hunger. And in zero hunger, there are different sub-themes, but we are basically focusing on food problems like food insecurity and nutrition problems like malnutrition. So our teams were selected on their insights based on these 2 sub-themes. So they will be basically focusing on food insecurity problem and nutritional problems. Other OTs can also add to my point if I'm missing anything.
So any other questions?
So, I mean, when we are scoring, I mean, you will be doing right after the presentation, like you said, team 1. So presentation will be there. And after that, we will be presenting and submitting like that.
Let me share my screen, sir. That may help you to be more clear. Yeah. This is the form you have and how the process will go on is first one of the team will come. They will pitch their idea in 3 minutes, and you have to evaluate on basis of this. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. Like what you can do is you have to choose the team number in the first question and your name of George in the second question. They are very basic things, and these 4 questions are like after the pitching of each team, how do you like innovation from 1 to 5, that is low to high. You have to like, if you like the idea very much, you can keep it high. Similarly, if the impact potential seems medium, you can do it 3. Similarly, if it's 3 here also, and if it's just 1 in performance, and if you have any feedback, you can give it here, and you can submit it. There is the send item above here, and that your responses will be recorded in one of the Google Sheet in our Google Drive, and we can sum those ideas, sum all your responses at once. Does this make sense, sir?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yes, of course. Let's go. I mean, we will, if there is any problem, we will look into it.
Anything to add from any of the OTs?
I think it's cool. If anything is mixed up, we'll just convey to you. But I also want to add that we have the every teams will present their pitching in 3 minutes. So you guys have judges have 4 minutes for the feedback. So and we'll take the responses. So next team will be with you. So you have a separate room, right, where you could see the pitch. There won't be other. So team will come there, turn wise, so you can just have that time for the one team. Like you could have 8 minutes, like 3 minutes of their pitch and 4 minutes of your responses for them. So are we moving to the next?
Next. Can I ask one more quick question?
Yes, sure.
So Amber, you had mentioned that there's 7 teams. Is that right? Because on the form it says 8 teams.
Actually,
did one of them drop?
Yeah, one of the team, not completely, but most of the team members left the team. So we merged the remaining team members to other teams. Actually, at the beginning, we had 8 teams.
Okay, and then my other question is, what protocol would you all like? For example, when we're doing question and answer, how do you want us to indicate that we have a question, or do you have some kind of guidance for us on how you want to manage it? I assume that one of you all will be sort of mediating the process.
Of course.
Do you want us to sort of raise our hand, or how do you want us to do that?
Yeah, one of us from OT will be here to mediate for sure. You mean how to ask questions to the teams, you mean? Yeah, what you can do is they will pitch for first 3 minutes. Then after 3 minutes, we will be watching time and we will say your time is over. Then they will stop. And you can then, the floor will be there for discussion. You can ask them question, or you can give them feedbacks for further improvement, like that. Like on-wise, like you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and speak. And Pranay, our pitching starts at 6, right?
Yeah.
So you guys have almost half an hour, so you can keep on talking or hanging out to yourself in this room. We will manage the teams right at 6. We will keep on sending the teams, and they will pitch, and the judging process will start then.
That's okay, I guess.
Thank you so much.
You're
so I'm going to be having coffee since it's 6 o'clock in the morning here and things like that. I'll see you all back here in a half an hour.
That's cool.
Where are you, Andrew?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
D.C., okay.
Yeah, and the sun is just rising. As you're speaking, the sun is coming up for me.
Okay, it raised you up early in the morning.
Early in the morning. So I'm not sure if I'm fresh or if I,
What is your routine of an early, rising?
Got it, I boarding na.
होला भयो हैन त्यो
मलाई ब्रेकआउट रुममा भयो बल्ल
सर्जुलाई पठाएला के रे त्यो कुन रुममा छ उनीहरु त्यो सबै यस्तो एरिया त्यहाँ जज भइरहेछ Pranay, will any of the team comes and go बोल्छ यता जज फेरि भन्छु नि यार त्यहाँ टिम सब म्याक्स मुक्स भइरहेको छ अब यस्तो गरौँ न अब उनीहरु 15
रुम त्यो भयो क्या रुम कन्फ्युज भयो क्या मलाई पनि दाइ त्यो तपाईले अब अन के रे जज अनबोर्डिङमा चाहिँ तिनीहरुले गेट चेक गर्नुहुन्छ गेट चेकमा चाहिँ जज
अडि नि चेन्ज भएन उनीहरु त मस्त देह बसेर गरेर आएको रहेछ त्यो ठिकै छ अब हाम्रो यस्तो भइहाल्यो अब यो के रे रुम 5 सरी जज अनबोर्डिङमा भएन गेट चेकमा उनीहरु छ अलिकति मिक्स म्याक्स भइछ रुम केही फरक पर्दैन 3 जना त्यही छन् अब त्यसपछि हामीले बिस्तारै अब 6 बजे चाहिँ एउटा टिमलाई फिक्स गरौँ अनि त्यसपछि
एउटा हो त्यो टाइम फिक्स गरौँ है अनि प्रोसेस चाहिँ कसरी गरौँ भन्दाखेरि एकजना चाहिँ यतै बस्दा हुन्छ यताउता हेर्नुलाई हैन अनि 2 जना ओटी चाहिँ त्यहाँ बसौँ एउटाले चाहिँ मेडिएट गर्दिम हैन यस्तो उस्तो भनेर अनि एकजना जस्तो चाहिँ त्यहाँ टाइम हेर्न बस्नु त्यो बेसिकली उसले चाहिँ टाइम
अब यो यस्तो हुन्छ नेपालको टाइम मलाई कन्फ्युज हुन्छ म त्यो नेपालको टाइम अलिक हेर्न जाउने हुने रहेछ क्या मलाई
यस्तो गर्न प्रणय दाइ र सन्तोष त्यहाँ बस्नु एम्बरले यताति मिडिएट गर्छ म यहाँ अहिलेको जस्तै बस्छु
त्यही गरौँ अनि अर्को कुरा है त्यो अझै म कन्फ्युज छु क्या तिनीहरूले त्यो गुगल रेस्पोन्स आएपछि हाम्रो त्यही एक्सेलमा आउने हो त्यही गुगल ड्राइभ एक्सेलमा
त्यो एक्सेलमा आउँछ दाइ
फिक्स हो नि हैन फेरि नयाँ मलाई यो कुरा कन्फ्युज लागिरहेछ क्या अझै
यो भनेको चाहिँ बेसिक रिसर्चहरुमा जस्तै अब हजुरहरूले गुगल फर्महरु बनाएर कहीं रिसर्चहरु सर्वेहरुमा गर्नु भने यसरी नै गर्ने हो के त्यो बनाएर पठाइदिने सिटिजन्सहरुलाई
किन भरोसै नलागिराखे क्या हिजोदेखि कसरी त्यो गुगल फर्म गरेर त्यहाँ ट्याक्क मिलेर आउँछ अलिकति गदाङ गुजुङ भयो भने जस्तो लाग्यो क्या मलाई अहिले पनि लागिरहेछ त्यस्तो
अनि त्यो टाइमको सिक्वेन्सले आउँछ दाइ त्यो उनीहरुले
It's team 2, right? Hello?
Yes, we are team 2.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, so before I begin, I just want to apologize. My video camera isn't working, so I won't be able to turn it on. Okay. Shall I begin?
Yeah, your time is now.
Namaste, and thank you for joining us, judges. We are the Hunger Warriors. Lakshmi Shahi is a subsistence farmer living in Odanuk in Karnali province. Her husband Ram, like most men in Karnali, has gone to India to earn money and to support his family. And like 44% of pregnant women in Nepal, Lakshmi is suffering from anemia. She is concerned about her health and ability to safely carry her child to term. Lakshmi is in need of a nutrient-rich diet, which her small income cannot afford. Lakshmi's story is a common one in Karnali. 75% of farmers in Karnali are women. Malnutrition in Karnali is a huge problem. 54.5% of children in Karnali are stunted, the highest rate in the whole country. Karnali also faces high food insecurity. In 2019, WFP Nepal distributed 77 metric tons of a wheat-soy blend super cereal in Karnali alone. Our theory of change seeks to address this problem. If indigenous crops are grown and processed into super cereals, then female farmers in Karnali will be able to generate their own income, and the malnutrition of pregnant and lactating women and children ages 6 to 23 months will be addressed.
So this is our locally grown solution, since it is very easy to grow these kind of crop in the Karnali region. First, we have finger millet or buckwheat that can be used, along with stingjin nettle or sisnu that we call it, moringa, sajiwan, and sweet potato, which are very highly nutritious and can be mixed as a product and then sold it and then made into a super cereal. So our process is a very easy one. We have it sustainable and easy. First, we will encourage the production of local indigenous crop. Second, we will purchase these crop in bulk directly from the farmers and employ the existing mother health group network to transform the crop into super cereal. At this stage, a micronutrient premix will also be added as a standard of WFP. Third, we will sell our super cereal to the government, NGOs, WFP, and other INGOs, as well as any other organizations working to address malnutrition. This completed product will be consumed by women and children of Karnali. And as you can see on the slide, our process is very easy and can be easily carried out by women involved in the Mother Health Group network as well. Now, what makes us unique? So unlike the existing super cereal of wheat blend, we have this, that is distributed by the donors. Our product sources are locally grown indigenous crop from farmers who are mostly women. The production, selling of their products, and consumption of the food they prepare will help them achieve self-reliance. The indigenous crop, which are highly nutritive, which has high nutritive value, less exhaustive, climate resilient, and sustainable solution for Karnali, where it is easily grown. And in turn, all this helps us to achieve our main target of us addressing the stunting and malnutrition in Karnali with the attainment of Sustainable Development Goal 2, with the target of 2.2, 2.3, and 2.4. So what we need for the future now is the funding so that we can further improve our plan, and the expertise so that we can work it to make our product even better with the help of the experts that are available. So this is our presentation. We have worked together to come up with a solution so that we can include the indigenous crop of that community, build it into a super cereal.
Hello guys, your time is off. Okay, thank you for presentation. Now comment starts from the judges. Judges?
Okay, I can ask a quick question. So one question I have about the super cereal, it's not clear to me, is the cereal actually fortified after it's produced to make it more nutritious, or is it something about the breeding of the products or that makes it more nutritious than what's available currently? So I'm looking for what is that innovative switch?
Okay, so if we talk about the indigenous crop that we are using, the millet and then the stinging nettle that we are using, they automatically in them have the nutrition. Like the millet is very high in calcium content, the stinging nettle in iron, which is very good for the lactating women. And for the sweet potato is for palatability as well as the high carotene content. The same is for moringa. So we are adding all this mixture, and along with that, there are a few vitamin premix that are available that we will also be adding as a fortification process so that we can have a complete package of nutritious super cereal that can be distributed. But most importantly is that the indigenous crop that we are using automatically suffices the nutritious need that might be added into the products.
Thank you so much, Team 2. This is Atul, one of the judges. Very good presentation. I really loved the idea of using the local indigenous. I was just wondering what would be the consistency of your final product? Thank you.
Sagar, would you like to answer the question?
So can you say it again? So I did not hear it properly, sir.
What would be the final consistency of a product? Will it be in powder form, liquid form, or granules? What kind of the product will be the final product?
So we are aiming for a powder form, sir, just like the Sarvatam, Lito, and
Thank
other
you.
forms.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Deepak, one of the judges. See, I mean, using indigenous food products or fruits is a very, good thing that you have, said in your presentation. But when I was working in Surkhet and in Swara also, they also, started producing this kind of things, this kind of a super flour and flour. Over there, they use one very, practical things they use. I don't see that part in your presentation. The part is, you know what, producing something is easier, but how to sell that and get the return back, and that continue for many, many more years, and people accept that and take it. That is the difficult part of it. So how do you promote? Because we all know, in Nepal, there are so many local food, indigenous food out there, which has a rich in nutrients and all that. But people are not using just because they are ignorant, just because they don't like the taste, just because they have not been marketed properly. In Surkhet, FCSB, how much you know, FCSB is female community health volunteers in Nepal. They are the link between the health facility and the community. They work for health and nutrition programs for Nepal and all that. These FCSB, they started producing this kind of food by themselves, and they started selling to the mothers and children's in their ward and in their district and all that. That was the best way they did. I don't know. So the difficult part is that one. They found that way and they did very well in Surkhet. Surkhet would be a big study for you people to learn that part of it.
May I answer this question? Oh, sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
please go
I just wanted to say that actually we're thinking about not marketing and selling this product to the local people themselves, but actually selling the product to local NGOs, INGOs, especially the WFP, as well as the Ministry of Health and Population. Like we mentioned in our presentation, WFP is currently distributing 77 metric tons of super cereals that are a wheat soy blend that are being imported from overseas. And in 2019, there was a 5-month interruption to the supply chain. And so one of the ideas that we have is to source this cereal locally and to create the super cereal locally, and then to provide it locally as well. This is a very remote region in Nepal, and we believe that this solution might actually address the challenges of access.
Annie, I understand your point. Selling to WFP, do you know the process? They are not going to take anything like that unless that is, passed by the food technology offices of Nepal or other countries out there on the system. So anything that has to be sold to be any organization, big organization, that's not possible without having codified and we have the certification, all that. That's not easy. Other part of the way, what you have been saying, you are thinking in a very small way within that district only. Don't think that small way. Why not go for a bigger scale and go for a better one? And if your products are good, why not go for a bigger areas and bigger consumers?
Yeah, that's a really good point. We are interested
time is up.
Okay, sure.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Now team 3.
Thank you so much, judges, for your valuable feedbacks and the time that you gave us.
Thank you.
Okay, now team 3. Team 3, you guys are up.
Okay, brother. Just give us 1 second to vote, okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm starting now. Hello and namaste everyone. I'm Susmita Basnet from Team 3 and I have other 2 teammates, Soni and Mamta. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to Onless Hack Nepal for this precious opportunity. Now let me proceed. We are dealing with the iron deficiency anemia. Looking about the profile of Nepalese women, 41% are suffering from anemia, and among that, 58% are from province number 2. It's not that anemia has hampered only the victimized, but also the offspring of pregnant are affected as well. So we are targeting the women of reproductive age of 15 to 49 years of Koraya Mai rural municipality of Bara district from province number 2. And for addressing this problem, we have come with the mobile application. For that, 62.2% female are using cell phone from province number 2. So for that, our plan must be feasible. Nepal government is going to launch the application Mero Posan Sathi, and that addresses with the iron supplement for adolescent girls and 1000 golden days. So what we are doing here is we want to incorporate our ideas of healing the iron deficiency problem with them. And for that, what we are going to do is we are planning to notify them about the diet with iron-rich sources, an idea about plantation of seasonal iron-rich fruits and vegetables. What we are going to do is we are going to give them idea about the seasonal, locally grown, that can be grown locally, iron-rich fruits and vegetables, and we'll give them idea through pictures and animation. Animation also in local language, and that will be very short videos so that they can know about the new product or the method of preparation, and for different age group of people. For example, for pregnancy, if they notify about the pregnancy, we'll teach them what they can eat in pregnancy, and for adolescent girls or during menstruation, we'll give them idea through animation. As people there are not highly literate. So we try to give them idea through our animation and pictures so that it won't be difficult for them to understand, as well as we'll explain them how iron deficiency anemia occurs over there. So for trial, we are only taking the limited area of Parayamai Rural Municipality, and for that, we'll evaluate after 3 months because it will take time at first. But after that, in each interval of 1 month, we'll be checking them. And this our project of iron deficiency anemia, it has not only supported the SDG2, that is hunger, but also it addresses the Sustainable Development Goal 1, 3, and 12. Thank you.
Well, that was quick. So judges, you're up.
So it seems to me that the basis of this intervention is education. So you're teaching the community about what foods might be more specifically iron rich. But you mentioned at the beginning of your presentation that you were going to be choosing iron rich fruits and vegetables. So I'm curious what those are, because often you don't associate iron with fruits and vegetables specifically. And so I think it's important that we're introducing we're matching the education piece with an actual piece of information that will change their diet.
Okay, thank you for your question. What we are actually planning is we'll understand what can be grown in local level because of the weather and climate condition in different parts of Nepal. We have different weather and climate situation and soil type. So at first we'll try to know what kind of fruits and vegetables can be locally grown over there, and we'll suggest them to grow them and how to eat their locally produced food from that diet. So it won't be specific iron rich sources for every area, but in different part we'll suggest different iron rich sources, and because of diversity they will be consuming different iron rich sources, and overall their bioavailability and consume rate will be high, so they won't be deficient in iron.
Thank you, Team 3. I liked the idea of using mobile phones and all those things. It's a brilliant idea. It will work. It has been. It has shown that these kind of ideas do work in communities like ours. Thank you so much. I have no specific comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Team 3. Iron deficiency anemia is a big problem in Nepal, and this has been in discussion for a very long time. Still, Nepal has not been, able to, do away with this problem. Your, subject is very interesting. But in Nepal, when we talk about adolescents, there are a lot of, adolescent girls who are not attending school or colleges or like that. We have a great number in that. So, we have two types of audience for your projects. One is the school going or college going. Other one is non-school going or college going. So how do you, of course, using mobile is good and all that, but to school going and non-school going, we have two different categories with different backgrounds and all that. You talk about the production side of it, but how do you, how do you say, or you have any ideas to address in the consumption of iron-rich foods?
Sir, what we are trying to do is we will tell them it's not that we're targeting educated or uneducated. It will be in pictorial form as well, and there will be short animated videos. So if we, for example, if pregnant is consuming, then if we tell them that they have to consume juano, then we can teach them short tutorial of sowing wheat flour and then juano and mixing them, so that it will be much easier for them to look at and understand. And we are trying to use their local language and in a song theme or like that, so that even illiterate can understand that. And we will be telling them according to their phase, like if they are pregnant, then what kind of food they should be eating. We will exactly show them what they can eat with their locally grown foods, so it won't be from other culture or other food preferences.
So one thing I want to inform you people also, just because I know iron deficiency, that problem has been not in Vietnam and some other, South Asian countries as well. In Cambodia, they have developed one way of dealing with that is called lucky iron. What is there, you know? I mean, in that they have one iron ingot, a piece of iron, which they put into their cooking pot, and they cook it with that iron ingot. From the iron, they get this nutrient, micronutrient, and that way they try to address the anemia in this countries, so Cambodia, Vietnam, and all that. So
I would like to add something on this. So we were also planning to apply a strategy that the peer educators, so those adolescent girls who attend schools or colleges can help to those who don't attend college or schools regarding the importance of iron in their diet and the menstrual bleeding, and because we know in province too, people are mostly focused on field works, and they work very hardly and rigorously during their menstrual period too. So we were also planning, if this goes well, we will also
So your time is up. We will give 1 minute for judges to score.
I think that just one line. Why not you people promote? Because our forefather of grandmothers used to, cook in iron pot and all that. You people, why not promote using iron pot for, addressing anemia in Nepal as well? Because we used to do that, but we lost that practice now. But why not we destroy that again?
Yes, sir. But we had been using that previously, and we can see that at that time also problem existed. And we are so stereotypical that if we tell them to use iron pots, they won't be using it practically because of our growing modern culture, and they use different types of other vessels. So I don't think they would be happy to use iron utensils in their house and keep them over there. But for low people, through our animated videos, we can tell them about hygiene and sanitation using iron utensils. We can incorporate that idea in our animated video, and we can avoid them through that, sir.
Thank you from my side. That's all.
Thank you. So we'll give just 1 minute to score, and next team, be ready.
Hello, does everyone see my screen?
Yeah, but don't start now, okay? Judges are scoring, so we'll give them a time.
You have to give some more time. I have not scored. I've written down. I'll be scoring right now.
Yeah, we'll give judges time to score.
Okay.
Mother, I'm starving. Can I get something to eat?
I want to just revise the time.
Whatever he gets around and asks any tourist for food who visits the locality. He thinks, I wish we had something to eat every day.
Sampurna, can you mute?
Weak, hungry, sluggish. And
Just a minute.
Our OT, Amber, wants to add something. Amber, please.
It's just a revision that the teams have 3 minutes of teaching time, 4 to 5 minutes of comment and feedback time, and 1 minute of marking time. So a total of 10 minutes for each team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Team 5, you are up.
Does my screen show?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, your screen is showing on.
Okay. All right. Hello, we are Team Jenga, a Swahili word for improving nutrition through capacity. I'm John, and I'll be presenting for Team 5. What problem did we identify? We identified a problem of prevalence of anemia, iron deficiency anemia in the women in Betanchok municipality in the Kaveri district of Nepal. Why has this problem persisted and why does this problem exist? We found out that the problem is one, lack of knowledge about nutrition. We've also realized that there's an inherent system that disadvantages women, which is based on gender inequality, and that is improved by patriarchy. We've also realized that the women are taken care of by family members who are way older than them. So this creates a generational gap that makes it impossible for them to receive the nutrition that they are meant to be receiving. What has been done? The government of Nepal has initiated a program called Maternal, Infant and Young Child Nutrition. But why has it failed? We believe why it has failed is because they failed to involve the people who they are addressing a problem to with the solution they are presenting to them. And what is our solution? Our solution, we are saying we are presenting a threefold solution. The solution will involve capacity and structural building, and it would also involve product development. What will be part of our structure of our capacity and structural building? Part of our capacity and structural building will be us encouraging these women to come and talk to what will create as a nutritional unit. The nutritional unit will have a seed bank where these women are welcome to come and collect crop that is high in iron and go and plant. That way we are not making them dependent on us, but we are telling them, listen, you can do this by yourself. We will also have nutritionists who will give advice on what they need to do during these plantings and things like that. And also in their personal life, if they need counseling, we will have a counselor at this particular unit where they will be collecting these foods. But secondly, we want to create a situation where they are also feeling like they are part of the solution. And how are we planning to do that? We are saying we want to produce an instant iron-rich product. And how are we planning to do that? We're going to use a food that is staple in Nepal, rice, and fortify it with a food again that is prevalent in Betanchok, which we've identified as moringa. We are planning to use these as the powders and use a small extrusion equipment that will produce an instant porridge. These women will be part of this process from start to end. That means they will be part of what they are providing a solution to. So at the end of the day, we'll have a product that they will be able to not only consume, but we are planning to sell this out of the communities that we are addressing. Why is it possible for us to sell this product? Because of globalization, people are tending to move more towards the area of consuming products that are instant. So when we provide them with an iron-rich product that has moringa is known to have bioactive phenolic compounds that promote health. We are providing them with not only an instant product that they can consume, but an instant product that has both iron and has a nutritional enhancement property. And we are intending to do this because we have seen that in these communities, these women are experiencing a lot of troubles because of the inequalities that have been created by patriarchy. The lady that we have decided to focus on in our study is Ritulama, who is a 24-year-old lady from Betanchok, Kaveri. She is a mother of a son, and she's pregnant and expecting, who feels inferior, who feels a family doesn't consider her thoughts. If we can get Ritulama to be part of our project, we believe at the end of the day, a lot of...
Hello guys, your time is up. Now judges are off for the comment. Thank you.
Samparnaji.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to, till the presenter, you have to go on, the presentation mode, not in the edit mode, because everything was in edit mode. That's why we did not see all the slides. I don't know other things. It has been in edit mode, and that's why we did not, read all those, whatever that was written.
No one saw the slides, Deepak Dai. John may have missed to change the slides. That's
okay, anyway.
No problem.
Thank you, judges, for the comments. It is a suggestion for upcoming teams as well. Please present your presentation in full presentation mode.
Can I start? I am with using moringa as a source of iron. It's a nice idea. I mean, moringa is absolutely very well known product, not only in Nepal but globally also. The challenge here is there are two challenges that I always see when we talk about food-based iron interventions for improving nutrition or anemia. The cause of anemia in Nepal, is it due to lack of food, lack of iron-rich food consumption? That is one. We don't know. We still don't know. The next challenge, using plant-based iron like the heme iron that and non-heme iron that we talk about. So I would suggest this. The idea is great, no doubt about it. But I would also like to see if the people, the presenters, also think on those aspects before teaching these kind of ideas. But the idea is great. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Can I respond?
John, I mean, you talking about the fortification and all that. There has been some kind of attempt in Nepal of one fortification. Some of the companies also done that, but it's not going on, I mean, properly in Nepal. There are so many other, I mean, regions, not only from the nutrition point of view, there are some other, I mean, management and production and kind of things and all that. So how do you see, I mean, how do you see the process of fortification by yourself? How do you see, how you are going to do that?
So to start with, we have started with, I am currently working on a project that is involving fortification of sorghum, a cereal common in Kenya, with moringa and with baobab. So we are fortifying the flours at a rate of 10%, and we're extruding the product to provide an instant product. So we have already received a bit of results from the market in Kenya, but again, we would like to make when we are speaking about Nepal, we would like to speak about crop that is thriving in Nepal. But when I saw from my teammates that moringa was consumed in Nepal, I felt we are applying it in Kenya. It might as well be applied in Nepal. So we are applying it at a rate of 10% to prevent of the minimum iron dietary requirements by a pregnant woman per every 100 grams of food consumed.
Okay, thank you.
So I'd like to ask a question, and this is a question that's on my mind, I think, for all the presentations, because I think they have all a similar bent, similar issue at the heart of them. So as I understand it, Team 5, your solution is two-pronged. One is it's an instant food, and that's different than what's currently on the market. And two is it integrates in moringa, which is a highly nutritious grain that can be introduced and complement some of their other foods. So my third question, and my question, not my third question, I don't necessarily expect an answer, but I think this is where, had you more than 2 days, all of these teams that would be going in this direction, how are you going to introduce such a food into the market?
Thank you so much for this question, because it was the one thing I discussed with my teammates when I was talking to them about the problems that would meet along the way. Because people have consumed moringa alone, people have consumed rice alone. No one has consumed a combination of rice and moringa. No one has consumed a combination of sorghum in Kenya and moringa. So what we are trying to then do is, at the end of the day, this is going to be a midway between a long-term project and a short-term project. Long-term in that we are expecting this to be taken in eventually, because sensory science tells us that over time, when people consume a product over and over again, they tend to like it more than when they first tested it. But also using short-term analysis, because if people test a product initially, a trained panel, which we have, will have defined for us how people would respond to that product. So part of this study, I have worked in such an area, and I would be I would be ready to give such expertise that we would do a sensory analysis of our product before we take it. We introduce it to our target market. We would first test it. A panel of 16 judges would be introduced to the food, and they would define it extensively before we've given it to the people who are going to consume it eventually.
Great. I have a follow-up question if we still have time. I mean, I actually have two that are on my mind. The first is that John and other Team 5 members, you're using the word we, but I'm not sure who we is. Is we a food company? Is we the government? Is we the World Bank? Like, who is we? Because obviously you're talking about doing something that costs a lot of money and a risk and finances. And so that's one fundamental question, is like, actually, who are you positioning to do this work in order to change the diet? And the second question, and I'm not sure you'll have time to answer both, so you can choose which one you want to answer, is many of the foods that are indigenous in Nepal actually do have a lot of iron. Like lentils are one of most iron-rich foods. So I'm wondering, why is it that most people are drawing the conclusion that the quality of the food is poor instead of the quantity of the food?
Okay, I'll try and run through a bit of both. The we is three or four more stakeholders. It's us, the holders of the idea. It's the government, because we are intending to use them at some point, or rather employ their services at some point. And then we are intending to pitch this idea to sponsors like currently the funders of the Kenyan project are the USAID. If we are able to pitch this project to them, it's possible that we could get funding for a replication of a similar study or similar implementation in Nepal. And your second question, please, my brain just.
The question is, why are people making the assumption that the issues of malnutrition and anemia are related to poor food quality rather than too little food, like malnourishment because not enough food?
If I could just answer that before I go, it's pertinent that not only for my team but also for the general knowledge, that at the end of the day, whether or not you consume large amounts of food that are rich in iron, if that iron is not available for your body to take in, then you are still going to be anemic. And that's part of my bigger study, that if the food is low in iron, it is high in iron, but the amount of iron that the body can take out of that food is low, still you will be anemic. So what are we trying to say? We are trying to say, let us deal with foods that have possibly enhancers. Enhancers are things that make that iron, whether or
Hello. Time is up already, I guess. So we will get to another team.
Okay, great.
Team 6, are you ready?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for this incredible opportunity. I'm Eva Gerfine, representing Team 6, also known as Team Happy Stomach. And we've focused on SDG 2.3, doubling the agricultural productivity and incomes of small-scale food producers. And we were drawn to this particular focus with this user in mind: the smallholder farmers producing paddy in Sunjakola Valley in the Jumla district of Karnali province. We chose to focus on this province because Karnali faces high food insecurity. And while this is a province with a very low HDI, there's a very high market potential for organic agriculture. And these smallholder farmers are facing existential threats, not only threats to economic resilience, but also soil degradation and erosion, and the increasing prevalence of extreme weather due to climate change. So our insight is that chemical fertilizers alone may not be a sustainable solution for these farmers. Fertilizers are currently produced in other countries, which prevents farmers from being independent. And on top of that, there are concerns of the long-term impact of these fertilizers on soil health. What we need is a cost-effective, locally producible organic fertilizer. And presently, there's a lack of knowledge of alternative fertilizer among these communities. So what's the solution? With guidance from the agricultural expert today, that training on production and management of manure is key, we've developed a localized solution. Farmers Organic Field School will provide trainings to farmers to compost using scientific methods. This will be a 15-week program, including training on locally available fertilizers based on the knowledge and scientific learning that livestock compost produces quality manure. And in addition to the manner of production, the application and timing of manure is also critical. So additionally, we'll integrate learnings from conservational agricultural methods, including mulching, to improve compost practices. And we believe that with a combined mind and combined hand, we can empower farmers by promoting organic fertilizer and teaching these communities to develop this on their own.
You still have 1 minute.
Okay. We're ready for questions.
Okay, great.
I'll invite my team to unmute and share as well.
Okay, judges.
So thank you, Team 6 and Eva, for your presentation. And it's interesting to look at it from a different direction. You know, now we're looking at, you know, how can we make the land more fertile? So, and in terms of the proposal that, you know, organic fertilizers will enhance the quality of the soil and produce more food, do you all have any sense of how that fertilizer can be made better specifically? Any evidence from the local environment about like what's missing and why, how it is that you can actually do this job?
Definitely, and I'll invite my teammates to chime in here as well. But that was one of the exciting learnings, I'll say. So I'm based in the US and have been studying conservation and regenerative agriculture here. And what we found is that composting can improve the soil organic matter in the soil content, which ultimately improves soil erosion and water holding capacity. And as I started learning and sharing from my team members and finding that those same methods can be applied in Nepal, and then speaking with the expert today who joined us and was advising us, he shared that some of these methods that have been practiced, including using like cow urine and cat urine as a alternative, can actually have a more effective method than pesticides and fertilizers that use chemicals. So there's both that short-term impact that seems promising, as well as the long-term viability of actually protecting the soil health to be productive in the long term.
So I just want to ask one quick follow-up question. I think your team has a little extra time for questions. Do you have evidence in Nepal that composting is not already being used? I mean, it's such a fundamental sort of farming method.
Yeah, and I'll again ask my team to unmute and chime in to share a local perspective, but I can share what I learned through this experience, and particularly through the expert conversation today, is that because there's such a strong generational tradition, there has not been the sort of scientific method of composting applied. So it's much more of farmers continuing to do what their father, their grandfather, previous generations had done, passed down, and that being rooted in this sort of fear of risk-taking and this real desire to protect the family legacy. And so what was described and what I've learned is more of a sort of spray approach versus the actual application being strategically timed for the planting. So that was one of the key insights that came up in our discussion.
Thank you, Eva. This is Atul, one of the judges. I like, of course, composting is certainly more conservative. It's no doubt that it improves soil fertility and other things. I was wondering about the productivity and the price of the finished produce Will that be high, or what do you think?
Definitely. That's a great question, and something that we were actually encouraged about is that this could ultimately lower the cost of inputs for farmers by using organic materials and also enabling them to therefore be independent moving forward. So that was another key learning, that currently these farmers are reliant on sourcing fertilizer from other countries. And so one, that means that they're beholden in terms of the price that they'll pay for that fertilizer. But two, there's also that challenge, again, from a timing and application perspective, where the fertilizer may not be available to them at the time that they need it, since they're sourcing externally. And so for both of those reasons, it seems promising that by learning to develop an organic fertilizer actually in the region, that could actually lower that cost and overcome those timing obstacles as well.
Just one quick follow-up question. What would be the amount of money you are looking for this project?
That is a great question. We did not get into the financials. I will say what we looked at is definitely engaging local government in this program, so looking for some government subsidies. We felt that that would support with not only that financial accountability, but also in driving acceptance of this initiative and of the school in the local regions.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Hi, Eva, I'm Deepak Thapa, one of the judges. Very interesting. I mean, Nepal want to go back to the ages when our forefathers used the organic fertilizers and had a good harvest and all that. That's a good idea. But my question is related to that is, how do you see the food sector and nutrition sector with that and all? That part you have not covered. You just said, using organic fertilizer and increasing the productivity and all that. But that part, how do you see?
I'm sorry, I missed just the part of the question.
The last part of the question is, of course, you talk about increasing productivity, but what about the food security and nutrition security? That part you have not covered, that's why.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great point. And something that we talked about as well that did not make it into this presentation, but I think is an important element of sort of that return to traditional methods that you touched on. What we've learned is there are also some varieties of rice that have been lost. And so I think there's an opportunity to potentially bring back some of those varieties that are particularly nutrient dense. And so that could be another component of this sort of field school. I think our primary focus is on the composting, since we see that as having the most immediate as well as long-term impact. And ultimately that will increase yield, which will address the malnutrition issues. But we also see potential for, again, looking at what are some more nutrient dense crop options that we could integrate as well.
Hello, our comment section is off.
Okay,
So we will let judges for 1 minute to score, and next team, be ready. Team 7, get ready.
Binodji, please share the slide.
Just don't start now, okay? Judges are giving their scores, so please wait. Okay. So team 7, you are good to go.
Hello, good evening and namaste ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to work with Unleash. It's kind of totally new and like a festive season, and it's like a very much enthusiasm and very much energetic experience. So talking about Unleash, and we are working on SDG 2, Zero Hunger. We took Palata rural municipality where population is merely equal to 15,303. Until a decade ago, in the remote village Palata rural municipality, the village was lush with the millet, but now it is kind of, there is no productions. Binodji, could you please shift the slide? Here, our team name is Green Door. Yes?
I'm having difficulty with this slide is not moving.
You're having difficulties with slide?
Yes, it's
team
not
7?
moving actually.
Shut down and come back again.
Team 7? Sir, actually we are having some technical problem.
Let's pause this team. You can come after next team.
Yeah, exactly. We could go skip to the next team. So
Okay, sir, thank you so much.
Teammate, you are up. Are you ready, guys? Hello, teammate. Hello, team 8.
I thought there were only 7 teams. Is there a team 8? I don't think so.
Can you please share your screen?
Yeah, we have. The team 8 is the 7th team.
So guys, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay, your time is now.
So hello everyone, our team name is Team Nutri Rangers. So skip the next slide. Earlier slide, you just went on the another slide. A boy from a rural municipality of Dolpa district says to the mother, "Mother, I'm starving. Can I get something to eat?" He eats whatever he gets around and asks any tourist for food who visits the locality. He thinks, "I wish we had something to eat every day." He always feels weak, hungry, sluggish, and ill. This is the story of a Prem, a 4-year-old male from Jagdula rural municipality, which lies in Dolpa district. Around 54.5% of people suffer from malnutrition in Karnali province, and around 36% of children under 5 years of age are underweight. Jagadola rural municipality is one of the most vulnerable area in the region, and thus our project focused to implement the problem into the region as a pilot project. The problem we have found in the region is the protein energy malnutrition in children under 5 years of age in Jagadola rural municipality, which lies in Dolpa district. The user we are targeting is children under 5 years of age, nutrition, and the targeted population is parents with children less than 5 years of age, because children under 5 themselves are not aware about that nutrition level, food consumption, and then the need of the user we found is an affordable, diversified nutritive food, and the insight behind the problem is low income generation by parents, leading to unaffordability of nutritive foods. So Sirisa, can you go next?
Our team Nutri Rangers has come up with the idea of providing skill development training for affordable protein and energy-based food, that is mushroom farming, to combat protein energy malnutrition. As mushroom is a fast-growing nutritious food source which can be grown utilizing locally available raw materials like straw in any kind of marginal lands. The reason behind choosing this initiative is it serves dual purpose. That is direct consumption by the beneficiaries, that is it is a nutrient-dense rich food in protein. It contains 3.1 gram per 100 gram mushroom and calories 22 calories per 100 gram mushroom, and it also contains considerable amount of iron, which makes direct impact in suppressing malnutrition problem that we have addressed earlier. And it serves as a reliable source of income as it fetches good amount of money in short period of time.
Our number one initiative would be giving skill development training to the targeted family by method demonstration of cultivation practice of mushroom and the result demonstration. Secondly, after pilot testing, we would expand the training to the larger beneficiaries after method and result demonstration, targeted people would be convinced about these promising farming techniques, which would ultimately solve their nutritional problem, as well as to address the increased income in the family and serve to our SDGs goal. This initiative will address SDGs like no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, and decent work and economic growth. Thank you. That was our presentation.
Okay, judges, you are up.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was an interesting, sort of took the same problem, even one of the same locations as in one of the other groups, but had a different solution. So one question I have about mushrooms is mushrooms grow usually in very wet environments. And one of the issues that you have with mushroom cultivation is that sometimes there are poisonous mushrooms. How will you go about addressing these issues and making sure that you don't introduce something that's not sustainable?
Yes, thank you for the question. The mushroom generally require, there are different types of mushroom that grows in summer condition, winter condition. The dolpa lies in the upper region, and we can plant winter mushroom. Pleurotus caesorkazu is also one of the species of mushrooms that can be well grown there, utilizing the very raw materials like straw. Seeds would also be locally available from the agricultural cooperatives there, and with the help of local government as well.
Srisha, hi teammate. This is Atul, one of the judges. Yeah, I agree with mushroom, the nutrition, everything is fine, perfect, no doubt about it. The question now is, mushroom is produced. How will the children eat? I mean, what is the system after that, after production?
Sir, again?
How will the children eat that mushroom? I mean, what have your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? How will?
So can you repeat again? My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, I can share the insights behind it. There is a large group of people within a family, and there are elder and younger children in there. The children can consume in the form of soup, while
Hello, Subhash, you are not audible.
Generation, the elder generation.
Hello, Subhash, you are not audible. Any other team members would like to answer?
So can you please repeat the question
Sorry,
once?
I was just mute. Yeah, the talking about children now, the consumption they can consume is that they can consume in the form of soup, while the young peoples or elder peoples can consume in the form of mushroom products. I think that seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Subhas, my name is Deepak. I'm one of the judges. You said most about the mushroom and about the PM, and my question is, are you talking about the preventive part of it or the curative part of it? Because I mean, if it is a SAM or MAM, then there are some other things that we have which are given during a SAM and MAM. But if you are talking about just the preventive side of it, I don't know. I mean, because like Atulji also, I mean, in what form that could be given? Because usually under 2 children, under 2 years children, it will be difficult for them to consume that kind of a mushroom, even in a soup form and all that. So I don't know, I mean, which part we are trying to tackle, the preventive part or the curative part?
I think prevention is always a better solution in order to get rid of any problem. Like we can really ensure the preventive side by engaging and empowering the peoples around in that locality, and also we
Because
can.
we have RUTF. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, judges. So, team 7, be ready. Judges will be scoring.
Goma, please share the slide.
Team 7, please turn off your screen sharing.
Yes, we are doing.
Someone is already sharing the screen.
Team 8,
that?
Team 8, can you turn off your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm back again, guys. Sorry.
So just be ready. We will start it in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, scoring, just a minute. Okay, thank you for me.
Okay, Team 7, you are up.
Thank you so much. So beside the technical error, I am back again. Thank you, Deepak sir, Atul sir, and Andrea ma'am for cooperating with us. So shall I start? So our group 7 name is Green Door. Green Door, the name simply clarify the SDG2 goals, which is hunger, zero hunger. Next slide. So we took the Palata municipality of Karnali province as our working area. So among 10 districts of Karnali province, 7 recorded as having food insecurities status. Out of total 2,99,339 hectares of total land, only 11.85% of land is under cultivated. Palata rural municipality of Kalikot district has less fertile soils and less access to irrigations for growing crop like rice. So millet, one of the most important crop that can be grown here. Next slide. So this is a kind of situations which is prevalent in the Palata municipality. We can see such a hunger issue. So we are working on the SDG2 goals, zero hunger. So we had took some pictures to memorize and to feel the pain. Next slide. Local farmer residing in Palata rural municipality of Kalikot district where soil are not quite fertile and no irrigation provision to grow rice. Because of climate change, millet is one of the limited crop that could be grown there because there is no timely availability of quality seed. Thus, how low productions. So we are targeting on quality seed. Next slide. Sorry, seed collections. So here we can see the solutions and progress in the chart. Support of local government, INGO and INGO working in the area. Seed taken to community seed banks. Seeds are stored in container with truthful labeling and provided to farmer in next season through farmers. Millet seed harvested by local farmer. Next slide. So funding. Yes, how could we generate our idea and how could we work on SDG to zero hunger? How could we develop the seed bank? So if we could success, local government will support us to establish gene bank related to seed bank. Sorry, only SAC. If we, I am still working on that slide. Only SAC will provide us fund if we are in top 3. It's kind of exception. ING and NGO working in that area. Next slide. So further steps. Ensure quality seed through community seed banks timely to the farmer in the system. Good production of millet, agro-based industry, product diversification and marketing. With the success here, we will outreach our program to our areas as well as to ensure quality seed and productions. Mainly we are focusing on seed bank. Thank you. Safe seed, safe future. Next slide. Safe seed, safe future. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Judges, you are up. judges.
Thank you. Yeah. It's me, Atul. Thank you, Team 7, for the presentation. Yes, you're right. Seed bank. We need seed bank. We need good seeds. No doubt about it. I was wondering, does Nepal really don't have good seed banks for millets? So that is the reason why we are not having good productivity. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I personally do think, sir, in Nepal, peoples nowadays are that much more modernized that they were just focused on hybrid and improved seeds. But the indigenous seeds and quality seeds are not available, and that might be the reason for the low productions of the Karnali region. If we get a SS of seed for that reason, then we might meet the challenges of the SDG2 zero hunger.
May I add something to this question?
Sure, Goma.
The seed bank which we have are mostly located in capital city or in Tarai region, but not in the sector where we need. Millet production if we talk about the Palata rural municipality, there is no any seed bank. So people do not have access to quality seed. So they need to suffer every time about the quality seed. They exchange seed with the within the community, and that exchange seed does not ensure that it is of quality.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
So thank you, Team 7. This is, I'm glad that you persisted and you were able to get your presentation to work the second time around. So what I'm interested in finding out is, it's a question that I asked a previous team, and that is, how do you plan to introduce the seed bank into the market? In other words, how are you going to make it sustainable? Are you going to have the seeds sold? How are you going to make that actually work?
Actually, it is a need, and need always make us that like trying. We should do this by the need in Palata rural municipality. We will introduce it in a different way. We will say them about the importance of a quality seed in our seed bank. In outer, it will be its formation will be in such a way that in outside office there will be a pixel card which will demonstrate the need of a seed bank, and we will also suggest them about the importance of quality seed and what is lagging, why they are not having enough production there. We will encourage them through we will be using mass media too for informing this, and also informal and formal education.
Can I follow up just with one?
Seed bank.
So it sounds to me like.
Sorry, I didn't.
Can you hear me? Okay. It sounds to me like what you're saying is that as I mentioned to our friend from Kenya earlier, I'm curious as to who they are. So you're convincing them, and I'm wondering whether they are. You mentioned the municipality, but then you mentioned social media and things like that. So it sounds like those are two different groups. So is your project planning to build the demand among community people so that they want the seed? Is it that kind of thing? Or is it that you're building the supply of the seeds? And if so, it doesn't sound like it's market driven. It sounds like you're doing it through the municipality. So if you could clarify those 2 points, that'd be very helpful to me.
Kantidi, actually, we could answer it. Or Binoda.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry, I couldn't get your question.
Okay, so there's 2 questions. The first question is, who is it that you're trying to convince that they need millet seed, better seed? That's one question. And the second question is, how are you going to actually deliver it?
Yeah, first, who is going to be who are we going to convince? Our first question is, our users are the local farmers over there. So I think there is no insecurity of quality seed, but and if we store it, if we are truthfully labeling the seed and the varietal purification, we can provide indigenous variety truthful seed through our community seed bank, and that they could be encouraged to produce more millet and further that after that production they could be good to agro industries and then market extension or so that you know that. And about the second question, I'm sorry, what was the second question?
The second question is how are you going to introduce the seed bank into the system, essentially. But if you don't have an answer yet, that's okay. I mean, like obviously you've only had 2 days.
I will answer for this. Actually, we will be for seed bank. Will be collecting seed from the farmer themselves. So they will be encouraged themselves. The thing we'll be doing is only just sorting and grading. Everything we will be doing, encouraging and involving farmer in our seed bank. So it is they themselves will be involved in this. So I think you get the answer.
Yes, we want to establish a community seed bank through which farmer can communicate, through which farmer can localize their local product and they can get employment too. If they produce seed and they could sell in community seed bank, they will get money too. That's why they like we know that the access to food, one is production, another is we have to buy from. So to buy we need income. So when farmer will sell that seed to the community bank, they get income. That's why they could buy the food and they can mitigate that food crisis problem. So we can meet the challenges of zero hunger through the seed bank, community seed bank. Thank you.
Actually, they will keep in seed bank as a like a bank. They will keep them and they will again take from the input seed in a low cost. Uh, they don't need to pay much for that seed bank because it is their harvest.
Guys, your time is up.
Should I speak or not? Because time is over. Yeah, okay. Mandana, just one small questions to you. Of course, we know, everyone knows it was going to be 2 days back also. The production of millet in Nepal has gone down drastically. And there are so many reasons they have given. But what reason? The reason that you have given is not being seed bank. In every district, we have agriculture office. Have you spoken to them? Have you, convinced them to have some kind of seed saving? Of course, they could not have banks like that and in a very well-furnished way, but they could, also, save a good seed for you people, for the farmers. That's one part. Have you spoken to farmer leaders and farmer groups and all that? They are the ones responsible for providing this kind of consultation and this kind of not facility actually, but this kind of services to the other farmers. So you need to speak to the farmer leaders. You need to speak to the district agriculture office for the better seeds. I think that will work.
Thank you, sir. We will consider it. Actually, in 2 days, we can't decide that much, but if we get a further chance, then we will definitely rock on. And I believe that we can contribute a little contributions to mitigate the zero hunger. I personally feel that.
Okay, thank you, Team 7. Your presentation was great. So judges will be scoring. And there's a next presentation session by our OT, Amber Thapa. Please, Amber, take over.
Just a minute, we have to score.
Yeah, sure, judges, please take your time for scoring. I have a brief information for all of us. we have a slight modification in the schedule. Soon after judges finishes their scoring, we will have a brief presentation for all of us, focusing on next steps. The presentation will be targeted to our talent teams so that they can keep on working on their ideas even after this hack. And after that brief presentation, judges will move to the respective team for final decision making, and teams can move to the respective breakout rooms for their discussion how to move to next steps. And after about half an hour, we all will be back to this same main room for announcement of winners and wrapping of this Unleash Hack Nepal 2020. Hope this is clear to all of us. So if judges are done with scoring, I will start my presentation in 2 minutes from now.
So thank you, Amber. So I'm done with scoring. So would you please give some guidance to the judges themselves about, whether we have any role in the next stage, or if our job is essentially done at this point?
I'm also done with scoring.
Thank you, judges. Actually, your role has been all done. Now there is a Google Sheet which will automatically calculate our winners. If you want to stay in this main room and join our participants for their next steps, you are very much welcome here. Or if you want to leave this room and go to judges room, you are also free to go there. So this presentation will be basically targeting our talent team.
Thank you. So I want to say good luck to all of the team members. You guys, the talents, you guys did an amazing job. The fact that you've only had 2 days is just mind-boggling. You've done a lot of thinking, and obviously the issue of nutrition and food security is not an easy one, or we would have all solved it long ago. So you guys really keep going, and I give you a lot of credit. You did a great job, and don't at all worry about the issues with technology, the things that didn't work, we're used to that. So good luck.
Also, thank you very much, all the presenters. You people have been very innovative. There was a lot of new things coming from you. Young people are the ones who think of new things in things. The older ones, they go on and practice the whole thing that have been there for the long time. So you people have really, thought of some of the very innovative ideas, and ingenuity is there. Anyway, we have the score for all of you. All of you have done very well and all that. Wish you all good luck to all of you. We'll be coming back after some time. Thank you very much from my side.
Thank you, Doctor. Now let's go for the brief presentation. Yeah, we are almost at the end of this 2 days long hack process, and I would like to say our real innovation will start from today, and I request all the talent teams to keep on working their ideas to produce some tangible solution, so that the SDG 2 will be achieved at least before 2030. So this is to help you with next steps. This was actually the schedule for today, and we are just 3 steps away from some wrapping up the program. After this presentation, there will be announcement of winners, and the program will be wrapped up. Yeah, what are the next steps? This is the slide I want to highlight. The first step is almost complete. You people have already framed the problem and identified the needs of users. So second step is from ideation to implementation. You have to mobilize the operational plan, discuss the practical consideration to address, to launch your solution, validate your assumptions, and test and demonstrate this viability of solution.
elaborated. And third step would be beyond only SAG. You have to go to community and ecosystem partners and wherever you have reached to really give life to the ideas you have been working on since yesterday. And this can be some of the tips to you that may be helpful while you will be keeping to work on your ideas. You can start mobilizing and planning things by utilizing resources you have, and the resources you can reach out really maybe to your universities, lecturers, and maybe somewhere to local organizations and international organizations. Yeah. And to be specific, we have already some of the local ecosystem partners which will be very happy to help you with your solutions. You can even look for other organizations like Nepal Technical Assistance Group and Tech, from which we have one of our judges, Mr. Deepak. Another organization is Bolio Nepal. We also have just from there, Mr. Atul Upadhyay. Another organization is Social Change Makers and Innovators, Sochai. We had an expert from that organization earlier in this morning. And our ecosystem partner was Sahas Nepal. We had an expert from this organization, Mr. Raju Jati, in the morning. Now, the only hack is almost to an end, but your journey has just begun, and so beyond only hack, only continues to support you by different ways. It can provide you mentorship, awareness, and it has got a tailored methodology to really develop your idea into solution. So keep in touch with Onlys however possible. The most probable way you can get in touch with Onlys is through the team of organizing we four who are in the OT. Yeah, and the post-hack support from Onlys is Onlys are one Onlys community platform. You will be the participants can access the Onlys platform where you can connect with global community and programs and receive extra resources. And beside Onlys community platform, we have Onlys Plus. This is an pre-accelerator program to develop your organization with world-class experts and teach a business case funders. In case if you keep on working with your ideas, you can apply for Onlys Plus next year. That is an pre-accelerator program in which you will get a platform to showcase your idea to a bigger group of funders from all over the world. So this is a kind of schematic map. You are at the very left where it marks a problem solving hack 2020. You have to, if you keep on working, and we strongly suggest you to keep on working, you can meet with organizing team members for extra resources from Onlys. And after that, you can apply for Onlys Plus pre-acceleration program. Then after miles of journey, your solution will be implemented to have social impact. As mentioned earlier, stay in touch, take advantage of Onlys community platform, meet with your organizing team and discuss advancement of your project, and complete a monitoring and evaluation post-hack survey, which will be shortly given to you maybe after a few days. And yeah, now it's in time. Every team will be sent to respective breakdown rooms, and there you should discuss with your teammates about the upcoming next steps for your ideas to get into an tangible solution. Please be back to main room at 1950 7:50 Nepali time for announcement of winners and wrapping up the program. Thank you. Thank you, Sampurna. It's up to you.
Thank you, guys. So as Amber told, we and the judges would be in the next discussion room, and you guys will be your own assigned break room. So give me a minute to get you back in. Okay, thank you.
So what is the time in Nepal?
It's 8.
So I think we need to tell the exact time when they need to be back. We need to write them. It's already the 8 o'clock, so. We can give like 15 minutes for them to listen for.
Let's say 8:15.
Yeah, so I think we need to write in chat as well as broadcast. So can you, Sampurna, can you assign judges to their respective room as well, so they could, you know, have some communication and we could finalize the results?
Yeah, I'm assigning them to their rooms.
Yeah, please, team members, since we are a bit late for the actual schedule, so you shall be back to the main room in 15 minutes from now. That will be around 8:15 p.m. here in Nepal.
So guys, please name your team, rename your username as a team, so that it will be much easier for us.
So are the judges in their respective rooms? So I think we need to join them.
Yeah, West can send OT to the judges room as well. Please, West, assign us to judges room.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
प्रणय अब के गर्ने अब हामी
अब सर हामी हाम्रो अर्को जज हुनुहुन्न एन्ड्रिया
आइपुग्नु भएको छैन
हामीसँग सबै छ हाम्रो लगभग फाइनलाइज भइसकेको छ हाम्रो टिम 6 पनि म हेरिहाल्छु
कतिवटा के रे हामी एनाउन्स गर्छ कतिजनालाई
हामी 7 जना हो सर 3 जनालाई अनाउन्स गर्छौं टिम 4 छैन हाम्रो विनर चाहिँ टिम 2 छ टिम 2 हैन हाम्रो विनर टिम 6
एग्रिकल्चर हो
एग्रिकल्चर
to conservation.
So second is team 2 working on super serial. And third is team 5, the Moringa 45. They are the finalized one. So I guess we have like 15 minutes because they'll just hang out there with their teammates and discuss their further plans to be implemented as a project. So we are supporting these 3 ideas and these 3 teams further also. So
the Unleash will fund them, or what is the next?
We will fund them. Unleash will fund them. The 3 team, but that will be just seed funding. But there are many, like opportunities from Unleash. So it's a global platform. So they will be getting from them. So these are the 3.
Okay. And why Nepal has been chosen, or is this for all countries they do it in the same way?
It's like we are the Unleash alumni, so we organizing team are the Unleash alumni, so we just write them is like it was 2020 would be the hackathon version, or let's say virtual thing. Otherwise there would be a global gathering yearly. So we just have been chosen to represent Unleash in Nepal. So Nepal is there are like 17 countries happening this hack, like in different dates. So we are focused on SDG2. So Nepal is
how do you announce the winners? How do you announce the winners?
We have already here the results, so we'll just input that in our presentation, I guess. Amber, have you done that?
Yeah, I'm doing. We have a presentation slide to announce the winners.
We have a presentation there, so we will just we'll just have an introduction with our facilitators as well. We have the facilitators So and we'll just wrap up the team. So and at last we'll have our announcement. So that's all for today. I think we'll do it in like half an hour. So it will be
half an hour.
Yeah, it will be done in like half an hour. So after 15 minutes, we'll be in the main room.
Okay.
Okay. So we can take a rest now.
Yeah, you can take a rest for I think you know the result, so you can take a rest.
We're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, you can tell for the 15 minutes. So after that, you can be.
Okay.
So I'll be with the teams. Amber, I'll be with the teams. Just supporting them. So you be here, right? Samuna?
Yeah.
So I think we missed our judge Indriya. So she's not there. So I think after 15 minutes, they will be here and we will announce the winners. We have.
But I think we should OT should go in the separate room for a while.
Oh, sorry. I guess. Yeah, okay. So yeah, there are facilitators as well. So we are right. We are like 20 minutes away from the result. So it's been a like great time. At first like we have very different time zone. We have worked a lot. It was very good to meet all of you guys. So so we have teams. Sampurna, can you assign Gayatri to her respective teams? I think she need to discuss something.
She's assigned. So I think OT should be on the separate room. I have assigned you there.
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
Okay. Hello, Gayatri. You can join. You are assigned to your team.
Sorry.
And Binod, you too. You can join your team. Yeah, great.
Sampurna, I don't see the room, Every room is occupied right now.
I have assigned you in OT room. There's a separate one.
Oh yeah, I just got it.
Yeah.
Hello, get on. Get a finalize भयो हैन?
फाइभहरुको नेमहरु थाहा छ हामीलाई?
हैन नेम छ एउटाको मात्र नेम रहेछ अरूले नामै गराखेन
किन हवर वारियर्स एकजनाको हो त्यो अर्कोको त्यो फर्स्ट एन्ड थर्ड के छ तीनजनाकै नाम छ
हैन त्यो मेरो बोर्डमा चाहिँ अपडेट गरेर रहेछ
हो
गरे सोध्नु र फेरि अझै थाहा
भयो सोध्नु न एकजनालाई मात्र नसोधौँ है सबैलाई सोध्नुपर्छ
हैन नसोधौँ अहिले केही नसोधौँ के चाहिँदैन हैन मात्र भनौँ त्यो भोलि हामी त्यो पोस्ट गर्दाखेरि
पब्लिस गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नाम सहित गरौँ पब्लिस गर्दाखेरि नाम सहित गरौँ
मैले क्यानभामा बनाइसकेको फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड लेखेर हेर्नु कि भएन
के रे
म क्यानभामा बनाएको कि क्यानभा
क्यामेराम्यान
क्यानभा
के क्यान भनेको
पाउनु म फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड 6 2 र 5 हैन
हो सोल्टा
पाउनै म त्यो फोटो नै पठाइदिन्छु त्यो चिप्काइदिनु भनेको अहिले प्रेजेन्टेसन
भाइले खतरा के बनाए जस्तो
दाजु म त्यहाँ अर्को ल्यापटपबाट नि जोइन छु हजुरले मलाई एक्सेप्ट गर्नु न म यो यसको क्लास भयो कि
एक्सेप्ट त छ त
दुईटा छ रे
होस्ट विल लेट यु नो भने
नामै दुईटा सन्तोष बनायो होला नि एउटाको नाम चाहिँ सन्तोष
प्रेजेन्टेसन कसले गर्ने त प्रेजेन्टेसन यो फाइनल
कमाले गर्ला नि हैन नि
जले गर्नु प्रेजेन्ट खास लामो छ होला हैन होला त
अनि खै के बनाउँदैछु खै के बनाउँदैछु भने हैन नि
हैन त्यहाँ लेख्नु पर्यो नि त नि टाकाटुका
म लेख्दै छु
बनाइसकेको मैले मात्र
उसले लेख्दै छ उसले लेख्दै छ
तर त्यही त टाइम चाहिँ लास्टै कम भयो जस्तो लाग्यो यार मलाई त साच्चै
तर अलि मैले त्यो फिल गरे यार तर हुन त हामीले अलिकति आफ्नो हिसाबले बनाउनु त मिल्थ्यो तर हुन त तर ठिकै हो पिचिङ भने यही हो भाइ त्यो हामीले भोलिपर्सि फन्डर्सको अगाडि गएर गर्ने पनि जुनै इन्टरनेसनल प्रोग्राम यही हो 3 देखि 5
हैन हामीले एज अ ओटी हेरेर त्यस्तो लाग्यो हैन तर टाइम ठीक हो मलाई त ठीक लागिरहेछ है साथीहरु
हैन यो हैन इन्टरनेसनल टाइमै यही हो क्या तिमीले 3 मिनेटमा चाहिँ त्यो मान्छेलाई तिम्रो प्रति आकर्षित गर्नुपर्छ है क्या यो पिचिङमा उ गर्छ कि त्यो एउटा उ खोइ ल छिटो छिटो अलिक सिट फन्डिङको साथै अरु कुरा पनि लेख्नुपर्छ क्या
म व्हाट्सएपमा पठाइदिइहाल्छु फेरि ट्यालेन्टको व्हाट्सएपमा जाला फेरि
यो पिपिटी 3 कोले बनाउँदैछ
पिपिटी र फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड
14
म बनाउँदैछु त
एकै ठाउँमा राखेको के छ हुन्छ छुट्टा छुट्टै बनाउने भनेको त्यो फोटो भएन नि त फोटो राख्नको अलिक टाइम लाग्यो कि त्यो भएर
के भन्छौ सन्तोषी कुरा
बुझ्दै बुझिन
व्हाट्सएपमा हेर्नु त
त्यो यस्तो क्या अब के हामीसँग उ छैन होला है सोलुसन उनीहरुको सोलुसनको टाइटल बिर्सेछु यार मैले टिप्स भन्दै थिएँ है दिपक सरको कमेन्टले गर्दाखेरि मैले त उनी बिर्सेछु टिप्ने टिमको नाम र उ सोलुसनको बारेमा अलिकति टिप्ने भन्ने सोच बनाएर थिएँ
तिमीको मेरो बोर्ड भिजिट गर्न मात्रै त्यसमा गरौ र
एकचोटि गरौँ त ल गर त त्यहाँ छ भने भइहाल तिमी गरिहाल
मेरो लटपटी चाहिँ भइराखेको त्यो भइराखेको भन्दै त म व्हाट्सएपमा पठाइदिएको हेर्नु त
व्हाट्सएपमा म हेर्दैछु
एकै ठाउँमा भएको भए कि फोटो हाल्ने भन्ने सोचे थिएँ अब फोटो हाल्नलाई त अलिकति समय लाग्छ टिमले
यो फोटो एकैचोटि पठाउनु भन्दा त त्यही यो प्रेजेन्टेसन नै ठिक छ होला प्रेजेन्टेसन
मलाई के लाग्यो भन्दाखेरि त्यो टिमले चाहिँ आफ्नो जुममा चाहिँ फोटो खिचेर पठाइदिन भनेको भए त्यो राम्रो थियो ग्रुप फोटो कि
प्रेजेन्टेसन नै ठिक छ ल
प्रेजेन्टेसन
दामी आइडिया हो त्यो
के रे
त्यो आफ्नो ब्रेकआउट रुममा हुन्छ नि उनीहरु मात्र हुन्छ नि त अनि उनीहरुको एउटा स्क्रिनशट पठाइदियो
ओके एक्ज्याक्टली हैन कहाँ अनि सबैलाई भन्नु पर्यो नि त त्यो एउटाले मात्र भन्नु भयो त
अनि त्यो भन्दिने नि त्यो के रे ब्रोडकास्ट गर्दिने दुई दिन
ब्रोडकास्ट हेर्दैन के भाइ मैले कति ब्रोडकास्ट गरे हाम्रै सँगैले हेरेन यार तिनीहरुले के हेर्छ
हैन म त नदेखेर जान्छु
देखिँदैन के धेरैले याद गर्दैन त्यो ब्रोडकास्ट के गर्ने कि सबैजना ठ्याक्क दुई दुईवटा टिममा गएर भनेर आउनु पर्यो तर होइन तिनीहरूले फोटो खिचेर स्क्रिनशट गरेर च्याटमा पठाएर
यो प्रेजेन्ट हजुर गर्नुहुन्छ कि म गरौँ
हुन्छ तिमी
हजुर गर्ने भए हेर्नु अब रेडी भयो नत्र म अलि प्रिपेयर गर्छु भनेर
यसमा त के छैन ल यो त ल हुन्छ मै गर्छु न त
सर हेर्नु अलिकति अब योमा त कन्टेन्ट त केही छैन तर हजुरले अलि
एउटा कुरा राख्न भाइ मैले थोरै एउटा तिमीलाई भनेको थिएँ तिमीले यो फर्स्ट प्राइज चाहिँ यो स्सी फन्डिङ भन्दा राखेन त्यो ठ्याक्क हाम्रो इकोसिस्टम पार्टनरको सपोर्ट पोस्ट ट्याग सपोर्ट अनलिस्टको चाहिँ अब त फर्दर इभेन्टको पनि सपोर्ट ठ्याक्क त्यो लेख्थ्यौँ
त्यो त अघि त्यत्रो भनेकै छैन दाइ
अलिकति होइन सानो देखियो क्या 500 300 यार व्हाट डु यु से है म त त्यही लायर मात्र भने होइन यो फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड र थर्ड प्राइज भनेको छ नि यो अलिकति
ए फर्स्ट सेकेन्ड थर्ड मात्र म लेखेँ नि प्राइज देखिन
होइन यो प्रेजेन्टेसनको कुरा गर्दैछ क्या एमरले
त्यसमा छुट्टै खालको त्यस्तो लेखे है
मलाई रेकर्डिङै पज गर्ने रहेछ है
पज गरेको छैन ए पज गर नि यार